Good morning. Hey, good morning. I had you're
Yes.
muted. I had technical issues. My internet was going in and out, so I kept coming back. Yeah. Oh, sorry. My bad.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, Doc Merlina.
Good morning. Anyway, yeah, I had computer issues, sorry. So Mike, I guess I'll have to go. I don't know what, I never did see the recording last week, Mike.
Yes.
I don't know what happened.
Yes, Doc. I don't know, Doc, what happened to our recording last meeting.
I hate that.
I
That
tried to save I tried to save it on the cloud. And I think there is two options there, to save in the cloud or to save in my computer. Last time I saved it on my computer, that's why I found it in saved on my computer, but this time I didn't see it even in the cloud, Doc. Even in my computer I cannot see it.
Huh. Okay, well, I don't know. I guess we'll try it where I will not make you a host this time because I need to save it. That was a really good recording we had. I thought last week. Yeah. Okay, we'll try it this time. Just let me know if somebody's trying to get in and I need to get them in. But anyway, there's not very many of us tonight. There's you and there's Layla and there's Elvin, Giselle, Rose Ann. Is that all we have? Let me see.
Doc, a lot of them are asking if you could accept or confirm.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Let me see. I guess I could say admit all.
Hello, Ma'am Layla, Sir Mike.
Yeah, they're here. They're in. So far it's just us so far. So anyway, so others may have given up. So Mike, see if you can put on our GC that we are on now, if you don't mind.
Yes, Doc.
Thank you. I think our internet company does a maintenance on Saturday. So I think that's why I have problems sometimes. How are you all doing? Do you have a good week? Dr. Elvin, are you having a good week?
Yes, we just had our World Teachers Day celebration.
Yes. How did you do? How did you do that?
And
yeah.
And we received an award together with together with my teachers.
Congrats again. That's awesome.
We received Most Outstanding Teachers Award, Master Teacher, and Hero of the Institution.
Wow, that is amazing. Congratulations. Usually when your teachers get an award, I think that's a feather in your hat as well. So congrats to you and your teachers. But how do you celebrate your Teachers Day in the Philippines? Because we do not even do it here at all. Like people would just greet you, but that's all. There's not even any card or anything. So tell me how you celebrate your Teachers Day in the Philippines.
I think it's the entire 2 weeks, I think. But the highlight will be from October 1 to 5. It's LO actually.
Okay. It's a law. It's a part of a law?
Or a DepEd order.
Really?
DepEd order that,
mandate? Yeah. Huh.
that gives the signal for every school to celebrate in the school level, district, quadrant, and division, and then the World Teachers Day celebration.
Okay, what do you have, like some DepEd people, DepEd department folks that would visit schools and attend those?
There's a one day activity for all of us to converge in, let's say, in a coliseum, and then a lot of things, a lot of activities there, awarding. We have the raffle draws, like all sort of kind of appliances are given by the local
Uh-huh.
government,
Wow,
like
that's really big deal.
aircon.
Wow, that's a really big deal then. That's good. Do you have food too? Do they have
Yes,
food?
it's coming from the school. We
Wow.
provide food, snacks, and including the shirt. We
Wow.
provide
You all,
shirt,
yeah.
transportation.
Sound like you all spend money on it. That's good.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
And it's not limited to that one day convergence. We have the localized school level. We spend food and all the awards and gifts for the teachers.
So that is really part of your budget, sounds like.
Yes, yes.
You really
You
put
have
it in your
to
budget. Well, that's
include
amazing.
that in the yearly budget.
Well, that is I just learned it from the teachers here, that's what you do. And I'm like, oh my goodness, we don't do that here at all. You know, they were greeting me and so on, and I'm like, that is not something that we do here. So I'm sure that was a really surprise to them that that you know that we don't celebrate it here.
Here
So
we honor our teachers so
yeah,
much. Give
I know, I feel bad that like
due
here,
honor to our teachers.
and we don't do that here at all. So that's a neat thing that I think the Philippines does that we don't. But anyway, okay. Well, thanks for sharing about that. Layla, what's up with you? How did you celebrate yours?
Good evening, Dr.
Good evening.
Merlina, and good evening, fellow teachers. We celebrated differently from Dr. Elvin because our municipal mayor made a resolution that we will have 1 day break for the
Wow.
Teachers' Day. So we
Hmm.
have 2 days break. That is October 5 and October 6 for us to enjoy our Teachers' Day. And the most important part there is the 1,000 pesos that was given by the government for the
Nice.
Teachers' Day celebration. So we celebrated our Teachers' Day at Vikings.
Okay.
That is unlimited unlimited food.
Eat you can eat
So
all you can. Is
yeah,
that
yeah.
all you can? Yeah, here you can
Yeah,
say you say all you can eat here, but there you say eat all you can, right?
yeah. Unlimited food.
So
Yeah, we celebrated that in Vikings, and we eat our out from 11 o'clock until 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
whoa, that's 3 hours
Yeah.
of eating.
Yes.
The poor restaurant owner.
So that is how we celebrated our Teachers' Day.
Was
So
1,000 was 1,000 enough though? How many people could eat with that 1,000 pesos?
only one person, because in the Vikings you pay 899 for the eat all you can.
So you went with yourself or by yourself without any husband or anything, huh? Without anybody,
No,
friend?
ma'am. We celebrated it with our principal and my co-teachers.
Oh,
So
I
we
see.
are we celebrated differently from different regions, different schools, different districts.
Wow. Is this unique? Is this unique? I guess everybody does it differently then, sounds like. So you said that you got 1,000 pesos. Who gave you that? The government, like Philippine government?
Yes,
Or
ma'am. The
your
Department
city
of
government?
Education. Yes, ma'am.
So that's everybody's getting that 1,000 in the Philippines,
Yes,
all
ma'am.
the teachers. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh wow. Okay, that's 20 bucks. Okay, so here all you can eat usually about if it's lunch, it's about 11.95, 10.95. So that's half of yours usually. So that's pretty expensive there. I guess people take long, but here we are pretty quick. We just go and we don't even spend 30 minutes. You know, we have things to do, places to go. But anyway, well, thank you for sharing that. Mike, do you do it in Saudi Arabia at all? Since you work in a Philippine.
Ma'am Merlina, by the
Yeah.
way, I would like to say thank you for answering my At
Survey?
least under the Susan Gray School and Vanderbilt University, I have my JO. They're hiring me, and I'm on the process now in my form I-9. I just don't know, ma'am, if what kind of visa are they giving me, because in my job offer, it states there that I will be an outreach teacher for an early interventionist position.
In
So I
which
just don't
school?
know,
In
ma'am.
which school?
It is in Vanderbilt
Oh
University.
my gosh, that is one of the best universities here. That's that's in Nashville, and that's where my two kids live. And I go there all the time. I'll have to come see you when I come. Yeah,
Yes, ma'am,
that's
that is
amazing,
Susan Gray
Lisa.
School.
That's
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
that's
Thank you very
amazing.
much for
Congratulations. Oh my goodness. That is so when I saw
and
that you got a survey from them, and I'm like, wow, you must have done really well on your application and all that, because that's a very hard university to get in. So
so you are the key, ma'am, for my success, because you are the last one to answer the survey, and the HR is had emailed me for about 3 times on they keep on asking if when are you going to answer the survey, because it takes for you to it takes 2 days for you to answer that, so that is
oh,
why I emailed you.
yeah,
And they said, oh, it is Dr. Melina who is not yet answering the
sorry.
survey, so can you give her a knock, something like that. So that is why I emailed you, because they're in a hurry, and it takes 1 month for them to validate my application. And
Wow.
I passed the three the 3 steps that they have given me. They have a video interview, a written exam, and I just don't know that. I just forget the other one. But
Wow.
they have given me my JO, and I just don't know, ma'am, if what kind of visa are they giving me, because they are now processing the I-9 federal form I-9. Is that correct, ma'am? Or 19?
That's a totally different one that I have never done, because it's the university is different. They do a different visa, and they are very quick. You will be here very soon, because the university and the researcher and all that, they get here quick. So I will be surprised if you're not here before Christmas. So you should be here within a month, possibly.
That's great.
Ma'am, I am also confused. Is 49,920 dollars per year is a good salary
Per
that was
year,
stipulated? Yes, ma'am.
49,990, about 50,000.
49,920.
Yeah, that's not bad. Do you have your doctorate degree?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's a little low, because I would most of them start at 60, 70, but you are starting. So universities do not really have like because nobody really tells them how much, especially a private university. That is a private university, a very expensive private university. Most people cannot afford it. So that must be a school within the university. And they do not have the
Yes, ma'am.
regulations. Yeah, they do not have the regulations that public schools do. They can pretty much do whatever. So a lot of times if you're dealing with private school, it's actually negotiable. So, and you have to negotiate in the beginning. But because you are wanting to come here, it's really hard to negotiate, So you just take what beggars cannot be choosers kind of type thing. But when you get here, when they like you, especially if you know that they really like you, you might want to ask your principal if there is a way that you could get more money, because private schools are very negotiable. So public school, no, because you have a salary schedule and that is set already. You cannot negotiate on the public school, but private school usually you can, but because they don't have a salary schedule like public does. But congratulations, Layla, that is so amazing that you got in.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah,
And I
very
want to say
nice.
thank you very much.
Oh, you're
And
welcome.
you're the key that I can see you sooner.
Well, thank you. I put all 10 on yours, and I just brag.
Yeah,
I'm like,
ma'am. Thank you very
you will
much.
miss out if you do not hire her. She will be an
Wow.
asset to your organization, and if you don't hire her, you'll lose out on a very good teacher and so on. So I just like I wrote a really nice one, but I'm so sorry that it was delayed 2 days. I was traveling. It was a busy time for me.
Yes, ma'am.
So
That is why I am telling them that you are quite busy about your work also.
yeah,
And
I
they
travel a lot.
say, okay, you will wait for her. So
Yeah.
you're the last one to answer
Well,
the,
that is the best news
and
ever.
that is that is very amazing. That is I'm very very lucky knowing you and for your help. Thank you very
Oh,
much, ma'am.
you're welcome. Now, I want you to think about the others in the group that also have their doctorate, like Dr. Elvin and Sonia and others that have their doctorate. You might want to think about them if there's a need in that school, okay? So you need to
Yes,
make
ma'am.
sure that yeah, if you don't
Definitely.
mind, when you get here and you're already working, if you don't mind to still attend so that you can keep in touch with us and also with the others that you might be able to help. Remember to pay it forward, right? Don't pay me, but
Yes.
pay it forward.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, if you don't mind. I think the GC,
Yes, ma'am.
the GC would also be a great help for you, to
Yes, ma'am.
give people, yeah. And I think the school, the university, the school will also be very helpful if you recommend, because a lot of times as a former administrator, I like to hire people that one of my people know, one of my staff would know, because they will not recommend somebody that's no good. So yeah, I would encourage everyone to do that, to help someone out, you know. So anyway, Dr. Elvin, how was your thank you again, Leila. What is it? You have
Thank you,
last,
ma'am.
yeah.
Yes, ma'am. One last question. Is an outreach teacher a good job?
I don't have any idea what outreach teacher is. I don't know if that's something that outreach here usually means that you are dealing with the public somehow. You're dealing with, like, maybe you are dealing with the parents. So you may be the one that will be like more of a liaison with the school and the parents. But anything that you do in Vanderbilt University is not going to be any bad at all. It's going to be all good. So yeah, you will not have a problem. That is so exciting though, because that's where our two kids live. And we go there a lot of occasions we go there. So yeah, when I come see you, I'll have to pick you up and show you around in Nashville.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a
Yes,
nice
ma'am.
place. That is called the music capital of the world. So you can go, like, for example, when you finish working and at night, they have this Broadway street that just full of live music. So you go it's like, this is like a bar, country music bar thing. And then you go and you don't have to buy anything. You can sit there and just listen to music. Usually usually if they have food, I order food or something, and I will just sit there and listen to music and visit with whoever you're with. And you just go from one bar to the next. And they have some famous people that have bars there, like Alan Jackson's got one there, and Garth Brooks, and all these other famous places. And they are loaded. If it is owned by some famous country music person, then it's very busy, like really busy. So yeah, that is so exciting. This is so exciting for me to hear that. So thank you again for sharing
Thank
that
you,
great news.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so with Mike, I think I have your stuff will be mailed like next week, Mike. So then after that, it's 2 weeks wait. So we should know within less than 3 weeks on yours. So hopefully, keeping my fingers crossed that you
Yes.
will all get it.
Yes, Doc. Yes, Doc.
Yeah.
Praying for that.
Yeah. So anyhow, is there anything that you need to tell the group, Mike?
Keep on inviting some of your friends, especially I want to commend Doc Elvin for inviting his teachers here. Like
Thank
what we're always saying, this group is not just as a preparation for our future application in the US, but also this is a platform wherein we can learn something new about the teaching that is very useful in our field.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
that's also the reason why I keep on inviting some of my friends to join our group and continue. Where me and Doc Alvin is always active in this group, so that even though some of our teachers now are busy on doing their stuff, uh, we will keep ourselves active in this group, just not only to prepare ourselves, but also to support you
Yeah,
and to
thank you.
invite more
You're
teachers here.
both, yeah, both of you are my right hands. It's what I feel. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And we have I think our support group now has close to 600, like 590 something. So I am so excited about that because our goal is 1,000. Let's see if we can reach 1,000. So that we are gaining every day. And I'm so glad to see that we're not losing, because once you stop doing things there and people are like, I don't need to be in here. So I try to put the new things there. So if you can think of new things to post, you may want to post things, especially that it's, make sure it's education related. And we would love,
Yes,
like,
Doc.
we have a lot of American teacher educators there, including teachers and administrators. They would like to see how the Philippines education is like. And if any of you have a really good picture on Teachers Day, I would love for you all to post it so that they will have an idea of what it is, because I did not have any idea, and I would love to see pictures of your Teacher Day. Like, anything that you did, any activity that you did on Teacher Day, I would love to see that. And I think everybody in the, in America as educators, or even not educators, some of them are parents, grandparents, but very active in education. Like some of my CASA volunteers. CASA is a court appointed special advocate. These are parents and grandparents that are very active in helping children that had been taken away by the government. And so I'm a CASA board member. And so I have invited them because they're all about kids. And so I have, I think you may have noticed Lynn Mitchell is one of them there, and she's pretty active. She's always liking something. And yeah, so that's very good, because these are the volunteers that would actually go to the home and inspect, make sure the home is safe for those kids that are being put in orphanage or put in adoption place. They check on them, and they make notes, and the observational notes will be given to the court. And so a lot of times they would actually be a witness and be, they have to testify. And so anyway, so they do a lot for kids. And so I invited them to be here. So that's cool.
Merlina,
Yes.
we have a newcomer here, one of my teacher,
Okay.
Ma'am Maria Laizel Maghanoy. Probably we could ask her to introduce herself.
That would be awesome. Can you do that? Yeah, if you don't mind to do that, I would love to hear from you. Yeah, there she is. Yeah, you are on mute. You're on mute right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yes, ma'am. Doctor, I'm glad that I was invited by Doc Elvin to be part of this interesting group, and I love to learn more, and I want to hear a lot from you, ma'am.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. And I'm sure that Dr. Elvin was saying some nice words. So thank you so much. Now tell us more about you. Tell us about your experience, number of years of experience, your education, and your passion. Why do you want to come here? All that stuff.
Okay. So like I've been teaching for 4 years. My bachelor's degree is I took BS Biology, and then I took the professional education in one of the university here in Zamboanga City. And then gladly I passed last 2017, and I am a science major, been teaching science, and I love to take this opportunity to try to venture to another country and experience their culture and another set of environment. I want to learn more and do more, perhaps, especially on my career, ma'am. Yes.
Very good. You know, you might want to say, as much as I love what I do here, as much as I love the Philippines, but it would be such a great opportunity to go there.
Yes.
Because it make it sound like, yeah, this person loves teaching. It doesn't, she's not just here. You know, you need to say, qualify it, I guess. As much as I love it here, as much as I, you know, but it would be such a great opportunity if given a chance to come. Yeah. Okay. Very
Yes.
good. You did well. I think you're very fluent, and it's going to help you. And this is a very common question on your interview. So this is how it works. You send me your resume, and you can get my information from Dr. Alvin, and then I put you on my list. I have close to 200 on my list right now, but it's going to go on all the schools and districts in Arkansas, and it also goes to the surrounding states. So from Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma. So anyway, other places around Arkansas, so that you'll be able to we can visit you that way. It's not too far. Yeah, we can
Yes,
drive. So then
Yes.
they would look at it, and then they would actually directly email you for an interview. They will ask you what's the best time to interview and so on. And then the first question is usually, tell us about yourself. Well, they'll introduce themselves first in the committee. Sometimes it's one person, sometimes two, sometimes it's a group of people. When you see a group of people, that usually means that it's a big school. Or sometimes little school also are very collaborative, and they want other people to be involved. But in all probability, it's a big school. So you can always go to research them, like find out when you get an invitation. First thing you need to do is to research that school. Google it. Just put that school and put in quotation mark. That way, the whole word, all the words will come up, and then read about them. You know, you can also, if other people will be writing about them. Usually, if they have lawsuits, like a lot of lawsuits about them, then that you might want to think twice, because that might not be a good school.
Yes.
Usually good schools, usually do not have even one lawsuit. Some of them would have 2 or 3, but it depends on how it came out and what it is about. So I would always read about them, and then read about their mission, their vision, what are they showing there. In order for you to know what kind of population they have, you look at the pictures that they post. You can see the students in the picture on their website, and that will tell you how much diversity they have. Now, usually, like in the areas where I'm helping right now, they're mostly Blacks. And Blacks, you can say Black, you can say African American. But some of them, like where I live, is mostly Caucasians. And that's why you say the whites, you say Caucasians. So the Caucasians here is maybe 99%. So in the whole school, maybe 1 or 2 Blacks. That is it. And so not much diversity. So when not much ethnic diversity, you really cannot just say that no diversity, because diversity means difference, right? And so we have differences in religion. So it might be all Caucasian, but we have religious diversity. We have family composition, family diversity, because, some families are, with a single mom, single dad, or just grandma. Those are family diversity. So you can never say that there's no diversity in the school, because you are meaning to say that it's only ethnic diversity. Well, that's not the only diversity that we talk about. So, okay. So when you think diversity, don't just think ethnic, don't just say racial diversity. Think of other things that people are different. Okay. And this is a lesson for you and everybody, I guess, because that's what a misconception on my part. Before when I talk about diversity, I always think of racial diversity or ethnic diversity. But you have to remember, everybody's different. In a community, although you may be all Caucasians, you may be mostly, African Americans, but there's still a difference between that. Family diversity, composition of the family is different, and it's very common in this area where I am helping in the Delta, which is like Helena, Brinkley, Barton Lee County, all those places. They have a lot of African Americans, and there are a lot of single parents, single mother, or raised by grandma. In Little Rock, which is the capital, it was so amazing to know that I taught science, right? Like And at that time, I had 150 students, but that first week I called every parent, either called or emailed them or text them that I am a new science teacher. My name is I'm looking forward to really getting to know your child. And when I talked to most of them, I didn't have a single father involved. It's the mom and the grandma. And it was so amazing. And then, the other racial diversity in there are our Indian or Asian Indians. Here, you don't say Indian in the Native Americans. You don't want to say Indian because that is not politically correct. You have to say Native American. So when you say Indians now, it's actually the Asian Indians. Okay, the one from India. Yeah. So the one from India. They are kids of researchers and doctors and all that in the nearby hospitals, and they are very different. I mean, both mother and father would come to the parent-teacher conference. I mean, they are like, some of them are still in their medical uniform, coming from work, and it's the difference between the involvement of the parents is so very visible, and it's also visible on their work, the quality of the work. And even though, for example, my Indian students, I didn't realize I was very biased to them because they're such the best workers. They're like, oh, can I do more work? Can I do this? And it's the opposite. And so you have to understand the difference, but at the same time, you have to watch that you're not biased to the ones that are really good. And I also have to watch because I'm Asian, and I don't want to be like very biased to the Asian because I'm Asian. So you might you catch yourself having that. So make sure that you don't do that. In the classroom, I try to make sure that I guess I'm for the underdog. If I see a student that's really like pitiful, if you're part of our support group, that Teddy story, have you read that Teddy story? I would be a Teddy champion person. I mean, I would actually look for the Teddies in the room, and I would want to help them. So I hope that you all do that. And thank you so much. What do you go by, Lisa? Like, how do you say your name?
Liza.
Liza. Okay. Oh my gosh, I love the way that it's spelled. You've got some creative parents.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're creative parents. I have to get my glasses to see. But anyway, okay. So yeah, thank you so much for attending. This is like a free PD, really. Here in America, we have PDs and we have to pay. Like when I go and do PDs, I charge the school about, between $1,000 and $1,500 a day. And so, if we have other schools, they're charging them like $100, $150, for that day. And so this is a free PD for you. So it's a treat for me.
Thank you so much, Doc.
Thank you so much.
We are so thankful and grateful for you.
Oh, you're welcome. No, I thank you for taking your time. I know you're tired from teaching all week, and then you are waking up early. So thank you. All right.
Doc.
Okay. Nice meeting you.
Thanks.
Johnson.
Nice meeting you, Doc.
Yeah. Hi, Johnson. What do you think about
Hello,
the
ma'am.
Hello.
Buenas noches a todos.
Oh, buenas noches. Buenas noches, otro. How do you say that? Like buenas
Good
noches.
evening.
Yeah, good evening too.
everyone.
But how do you say two though? Otro? Buenas
Otra,
noches.
igualmente.
Yes, noches a
Igualmente.
todos.
That's it. Igualmente. Okay.
Igualmente.
Yeah, I
Likewise.
have to look for those words. Yeah. Thank you so much. Are you excited to come here? Maybe if you just.
Yes, ma'am. Super, ma'am.
So
I'm so sorry for the past days and weeks and months that I am not here because I have my part-time job during the night.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
what are you doing tonight?
Yes,
Well, you're not doing your work tonight?
It's okay, ma'am, because I already dismissed them early just to attend today.
Are you doing ESL or something? Is that what you're doing? ESL?
It's actually a masteral and
Oh.
doctoral, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I have my students in the master's degree.
Okay.
Yes,
So you have your
ma'am.
doctor. You have your doctorate too, Johnson.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, so that's good. You just heard about Layla getting a job here in Nashville, Tennessee. So she's got her doctorate too. So yeah,
Oh, that's great. I'm very
Yeah.
happy.
yeah,
for
that's
them.
good. And by the
Yes, ma'am.
way, there's not very many here that are very fluent in Spanish. Even the Spanish teachers locally, like where I live, the Spanish teachers are not very fluent in Spanish. because they just took so many hours, you know. And with the Philippines, like you have an advantage because our language is mostly Spanish. Like, you know, 70-80% of our
ma'am.
language is mostly Spanish. You know, la mesa, tenedor, cuchara, all
Yes.
those are Spanish. And so, yeah, right. So when our students would study Spanish, they get the words already. Well, here you actually have to really teach it because that's not part of their vocab, right?
Wow. Yes, ma'am. I'm so very happy. Thank you again, ma'am, for that, for this opportunity. This is because of you, ma'am.
Oh, well, you're
Yeah,
welcome. You
it's
have to
all
thank me
because
again
of
when
you.
you have to thank me when you get it, because I do not know. This
Oh
is
my
our first H1B
gosh.
visa, and I want you to I want to tell you that Miss Mills and I are reading the directions and following it, and it's out of our hands. Once we mail it and pay it, it's going to be out of our hands. But the good thing is that they're paying the 2,500 premium processing, which means
Wow.
that you're going to know within 15 days, I think they said. Within 15 days, you will know the result. So we're just hoping that you will get a good response.
Gosh.
And, you know, if you don't get in the first time, as my brother-in-law said, who works at immigration, Merlina, there's something that they're looking for, they will ask you for that. And so do not give up. If you say, well, this is denied for now, they ask for ask for more
Gosh, I'm
information. Just like the
nervous.
LCA was, Miss Mills was like having a heart attack when she saw the word denied. And I said, Miss Mills, look, read the letter, and it says that you need this, you know, paperwork done. And so she did that, and it got, you know.
Wow.
And so
That's
do not be like too sad. You don't give up, I guess what I'm trying to say, because I do not know the next step, but hopefully, you know, hopefully you can appeal or whatever. Okay. So I'm really nervous about it, by the way, you know, because the superintendent.
I am still positive for that, ma'am.
I'm hoping, I'm praying all the time about it. So hopefully you help
Oh
me
my
pray.
gosh.
Okay. You help me pray that
Yes,
the 4
ma'am.
applications
So
will
how many days, ma'am?
after we mail it next week. So I would say 2 weeks
Okay.
from next week. I would say in 3 weeks, you would know. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
So hopefully
Thank
that would be
you.
so nice if you get, after that, when you get your approval, then you will get some paperwork that they will give you, and then you can then make your appointment to the embassy. So for
And then
now,
after the embassy, ma'am, what's next?
when you get approved in the embassy, you get your ticket and you come. So you just have.
There's another step, ma'am. I think there is a polo, ma'am. Philippine Overseas Labor Organization, ma'am.
I don't know that part. I don't know the Philippine part.
And then the PUEE, yes, ma'am. After
Okay.
the US embassy, we have to go to the polo, another requirements for the polo. And then after the polo, I think that is for a month. Then go to the PUEE for 2 weeks.
Okay, so
Process
it's a
for the
month.
OEC,
So it'll
overseas.
be after Christmas possibly then. If you get approved, it
Hopefully.
will be after Christmas when you get here, which is good because the second semester starts at the new year. So that's actually a good start, you know. But I do not know how they do that. Your application would be, I mean, I don't know how, if they pay yearly or they pay from then on. I do not know how that works. But like the other folks that started in August, they came later, but they have to go with what the paperwork says on your when you were kind of hired, and so that's when they start paying you. So I do not know how this works because H1B is new to us. We've always used the J1 visa, and they said a lot of J1 visas are available in January. So my brother-in-law says, so in January you should get a lot of interviews for others that are waiting. You should be getting a lot of interviews around December because January the J1 visas are available again, a lot of them. So 65,000 visas. So,
Wow.
so yeah. So anyway, well, good luck again to you and Mike and Dina and who's the other one? April.
The Magic 4.
Magic 4, yeah. I can't wait to see you all. And there's in the house, the big house they're staying, you know, 3 people have moved, and one of them is about to move because Jing, because her husband is about to come, and so they're gonna be ending up with 4 people. So when you all come at 4, it just should be enough room for you there in that big house. And then Mike, Dr. Edison. Pineda is very much excited for you to come, because then he's not the only male teacher there. Right now, he's like surrounded by females. He's the only male teacher in that house. So, so yeah, he's really looking forward for your
Yes,
coming,
Doc.
Mike.
Yes, Doc.
Can't wait.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you again, both of you. And so Leila, I just remembered, have you talked to your potential employer about housing? Make sure you talk to them about housing.
Ma'am Jane we have not yet talked about the housing, ma'am. I just Google it, and I think the price of the apartment is quite high there. The lowest is about $1,200.
Very expensive, yeah.
Yeah, ma'am.
That's why it's good if you find a roommate or something. That would be so nice if they hire another person. That way you split everything. You know, if there's 2, 3 of you, you split everything in halves or thirds. So encourage them to hire another person and you'll be roommate with that person. That's the thing with the big cities. I'm really wondering, you are paying a lot more. And so that's why I was thinking that you could have negotiated it for like 60,000 or something, because your standard of living is so high there. I mean, food will be around the same, but the apartment is the one that's going to get you. The electric should be about the same, but it's the apartment is double. Like around in Helena, it might be 600 and yours is 1,200. So it's a lot
Doc
more.
Merlina, she could recommend me.
Yeah. If you recommend anybody
Yes.
here, that if they need,
Leila, how
Yeah.
I wish I
Even
could
if
be
my-
with
That's
you
right.
guys. I'm trying
Yeah.
so hard.
yeah.
Sir,
Okay, this
as
is what
soon
I'll
as
do. Huh?
I get there, I will recommend you all to the Vanderbilt University.
Well, if they
That
don't
is
need
actually, ma'am,
anybody,
Susan Gray School.
Uh-huh.
Susan Gray School.
okay. Well, what I do is I'm gonna look up the Nashville Department of Education, and I'm gonna look at their schools, and I'm gonna send it my list to all the schools in Tennessee, in Nashville area, so that hopefully they will hire somebody, and then you can still room, even though you're not in the same school, you can still in the same area, you know, in Nashville, so you can maybe still room with each other. But you may want to start learning how to drive, because you may be driving, but the thing about Nashville, there's so many there's so many public transportation because it's a big city. So if you ride there in in Vanderbilt, there's a lot of buses there. So all you have to know is what color of line of buses there. There's red line, blue line, all those things. So they'll give you a schedule, and then you just have to know which one. And a lot of times, because whoever's hiring you, they'll try to provide, try to help you. So make sure you ask them about housing, and if there's somebody, ask them like, is there somebody in the school as a staff that would need a roommate that maybe would room with me until I get to know the place? Until you feel like you can get your own, you may want to ask that, because a lot of times there's somebody in school that might have an extra room that you could rent from, and that makes it so much easier, and also safer for you, because you have somebody that will kind of guide you, if they work with you. So you might want to ask that question, and that goes for everybody else. If you get hired and you're the only one, make sure you ask those questions like housing. They will not provide you housing, but if at least have them help you find it. And if they cannot help, you need to go to Zillow, ZILLOW.com. Okay, Zillow.com or apartment.com, apartment or apartments.com. And then you will type the place, and then you should be able to find it. That way you can compare the prices, and they usually have pictures of the apartment. And then once you see it, then you go to Google Map and put in the address, and you can see exactly the neighborhood. You can see, Google Map would help you after you have seen the address and all that. Okay. So with some of them, like, you have to look at what's nearby. Is it like in the middle of a slum? Well, there's not really any slum, but anyway, there's is it a very crowded place, or is it right there in the city? And if you don't drive, you're actually better off living in the city. The problem is, in the city is very expensive. Like in Nashville, you may be able to find something for like 600 or 800, but it might be a home, instead of like an apartment in the downtown Nashville. Like you buy a condo in downtown Nashville, and it's $50,000, $75,000 which is about 3-4 million just for one room, just like a condo, like one room. And so it's very expensive right in the middle. I knew that because my daughter owns business there, and she has a home outside of the city, and so she was wanting to buy an apartment there, so when they're tired from work they can just go there. And that's how I knew that it's so expensive, because they have those high rising building, high rises in the middle, and those are really expensive. So anyway, so that's why you want to know about the Google Maps and see where it is. Is it right in the middle of everything, or is it somewhere far away? You need to know, because when you Google Map, you can kind of you can see the distance of where your school is and all that. Of course, you can always Google it. I Google a lot. I would say, for example, if there's a school that wants me to visit, I would always say distance between, on Google, I put distance between Salem, Arkansas, where I am, and then I put the name of the school. So you can put Salem, Arkansas, so that way you'll know how far you are from me. Distance from Salem, Arkansas. There's 2 Salems in Arkansas, so you have to put Salem, Arkansas. I think Fulton County might help, or the 72576 is our zip. Zip code here is like our zip there, except in the Philippines, zip code is like 6014 for Cebu, 6015 for Lapu-Lapu. Here is 5 digits. So like mine is Salem, Arkansas, 72576. So there's 5 of them. And so everybody in the US, every town, every city in the US has a zip code. So you can just put, that zip code, and it's gonna be unique for that town. Okay. So I will find out, because I think you might be 7 hours from me, because that's what we usually drive when we go see our kids. And you're about 3 hours from Memphis, and which means you're about 4 hours from Helena. So that's not too bad. If you really want to drive and see them, that's 4 hours. But if you have a car, which you can get used cars here, you can get like $3,000 or $4,000 to $200,000. You can get a used car. But if you want a brand new car, they're usually about $1 million, so $20,000. So yeah, and some of the like Helena bunch, there's 4 of them that bought a car together. So they put the down payment. I think the down payment was maybe $4,000 because it's brand new, and then their payment was only $300 a month. So they divided $75 a month, and so that they pay for for the installment. So you can do that too. Whenever you are rooming with somebody, you can buy a car together. Just make sure that you agree that if one decides to leave or whatever, they have to give you back the down payment anyway. I don't know how that works. I guess they just lost it if they go home, but hopefully nobody will go home. Although the first week or the first month that you teach, you may want to feel like going home. That's still where some of the Filipinos right now, they're like so stressed out over the discipline. Where the area where I am in is going to be lots of discipline, and I don't think you'll have a problem with that in Vanderbilt, but in here where they are, it's very stressful for them. A bunch of them cry, and they would they will not tell me that they cried, but their roommates would tell me that so-and-so cried because she had a really rough day yesterday. And one of them even said, I don't know, I've even thought about coming back home and all this, but then she remembered that her goals, and she remembered that her family's counting on her, and so on. And so I guess you have to just think about what motivated you to come. If it is your family, you are doing this in order to help your family. You have to keep that in mind your first month, because if not, you'll be wanting to come home, And so, and I feel so bad for them, because that is part of a culture shock. When you first come to another country, especially in a school where you're in a school where there are a lot of misbehavior, and if your classroom discipline, if classroom management is weak anyway, then kids will eat your lunch. But what they mean by that is that they will just abuse it. They think that, oh, this is a weak teacher, and our height, here are the kids really way taller than us. And so they think that, oh, they're kind of trying to judge you by our height. But once you are confident and you really know what you're doing, and you just fake it till you make it, that's what I tell them, then they are fine. Because when I teach in front of the Filipino teacher, I would do a model teaching. The students are listening to me. They're not misbehaving. Because I just put in there, okay, guys, whenever I want your attention, I want you to raise your hand. I'm going to raise my hand. And when you see my hand raised, I'm not going to say anything. You're going to have to also raise your hand. And if you see somebody that's still talking, you tap them and remind them, because I'm not going to start until all hands are raised. Okay. And that's what I do, because I do not want to be screaming or saying anything. So I'm just going to do this. Okay. Or I would tell them, I'm just going to turn off the light, and I will not turn on that light until everybody's mouth is zipped. Okay. And do not let me turn off the light more than one time, because this is what's going to happen. So you may all have to stay to eat lunch with me today. And they don't like that, because they want to eat with their friends, especially high school. Especially high school. They love to eat with their friends, and they already have, appointment with their girlfriends or boyfriends to talk during lunch. So they don't ever want that. They don't want to be moved to the front of the room, high school, middle school. So because they don't want to be, like put a spot. So they, if you're being highlighted, they don't like that. So that's one thing you can do for the older grades is you move in the front here with me. And when I was teaching, I actually had a little desk right there close to I have two close to my desk. And that's like a bad area desk. Like you don't want to go there. It's like a bad part of the island. You don't want to go to the island. And so because I always had my kids in groups. So groups of 4. And so if they get taken out from the group, it's like you go in an island. And so so I don't ever have kids that want to go to the island, because they have so much fun doing things with their group. And the group has they have a team name. I have them to make a little team name, and then they put their little whatever avatar they want to use for their team. They have this little team work going, and so they're going to be outside of that team. They don't want that. Okay, so try to make sure. I don't think this applies to you, Layla. I hope not. I hope that they will behave themselves, because in some places, like where I taught in Salem, they behave like Filipino kids. Okay, I never have any problems. I had maybe 2 or 3, less than 5 that I had to spank myself, because then I regretted it. I should not have. Don't ever do that. I know they're spanking, like for example, in Arkansas, I've said this before, there are only 9 states that still spank. They call that corporal punishment. Don't do it, because you could get sued. And if they win, you could lose your license, and then you have to register as a sex offender. That is not good. So that is a big deal, because if you spank and they have a mark, they'll take a picture of that, and that's what they're going to use to sue you. Okay, so in schools, they would have like permission from parents that yes, my child can have corporal punishment. But in my old school where I taught, this principal still calls them and say, hey, this is what's going to happen. I'm about to spank them. Do you want me to rather suspend your child, for 3 days? That's the other. Or they are put in an ALE, which is an alternative learning environment. Most schools have an ALE, and that's ALE is a place where usually you put your meanest teacher there, because they're so strict and they don't want to go there. And so ALE is something before or in school suspension. They call that ISS. So if they are being put in ISS or ALE, that's not a good thing. So or suspension. Those are the things that could happen. And if they continue to do that, they could be expelled. And see, that the thing is, the parents do not want the suspension, because they have to work. And that means that they have to find a babysitter, for 3 days. And babysitting here is expensive. It's at least maybe $15 a day, $10 to $15 a day. So that's expensive. So if you put a child here, that's why if you have a baby, whatever, and for 5 days, that's $75 a week. That's $300 a month you have to pay for babysitting. And so when you do your budget and you have a child and this child have to be babysat, then you have to put that budget another $300, because unless you can find a friend, a neighbor, that could watch. But the thing is, there's so many abuse going on that you have to know that person. Like I would never just trust my child with anyone. That's why I brought my mom over. When I was pregnant, I was one week before delivery when my mom arrived. So my child never tasted daycare, my children, because 14 years my mom was there with us, and then she married an American. So anyway, but now she lives 5 months.
Hello, Doc. Can I bring also,
Yeah.
Doc, my mother?
Only when you already are permanent, you already have your green card, you can bring
Oh,
your
I
parents. Your parents will be
see.
quick. You have to get
How
your green
about
card.
for a tourist visa, ma'am? Can I apply my mother for a tourist visa?
Yeah, but for tourist visa, you have to prove that you have that so much money. Like she has to have like a property there. You have to have.
Yeah,
she has
yeah,
to-
no problem for that, ma'am, because
but
we
then
have
she
it.
has to have a show money type thing, and
Yes,
then
ma'am, no problem for that.
okay, that you can try, and she has to show that she has to show that she has a she needs to go back. Like for example, if it's it's a husband and wife, and the husband's left there, well, you know the wife will have to come back, and
I
that's why my
see, yes.
yeah. See, my mom came as a tourist in a tourist visa because I didn't think that she would
Oh.
move here. So I didn't think that she would move here. So I just like my dad was there. And so then when she left, she said, goodbye, Philippines. I'm leaving my husband. And I'm like, I didn't even know she was wanting to leave my dad, because he
my
was a very
gosh.
abusive, but they've been married 20 some years. So I just didn't think he would move. He would leave. But then I told my mom, how did you get dad to agree that you come by yourself? And she said, well, you know how your dad loves chicken fights, and your husband brought some eggs that my husband brought some eggs that are chicken fighting eggs. And he's not supposed to do that, but he bought like the container right there, and he has his little briefcase thing, and he put it there, and he put like 6 boiled eggs and 6 like good eggs. And then so when they asked him, hey, what was that? I said, oh, that's my food, my snack. So he said, do you want some? And he gave him like boiled egg, but really there's 6
Yes,
of those eggs
ma'am.
are, yeah, but they
Hopefully,
turned
I
out
can
to
bring
be,
my mother there, ma'am.
yeah,
Hopefully.
yeah, don't ever do that, what my husband did, by the way. Anyway, but then what happened is that my mom said to my dad, hey, I will bring you some more eggs. I will be back in 3 months, and then I'll bring you some eggs. And that's when my dad signed that she can come. And then my mom said, you have to do my paperwork that I can stay, because you have a non-immigrant visa and you have to change it to an immigrant visa. And it took me, and this is before 9/11, it took me 3.5 years to get that switched. So it took forever, like a big box of paperwork that we had to do, because in one time they said, oh, she had to go back and have an interview in Manila in order to do this. And so I had to like write our senator, luckily we know the senator, and said, hey, will you please help us that if my mom ends up going back, she may not be allowed to come back in. So I need for her to be interviewed in Memphis, which is our closest immigration place here. And so they did that, on the letterhead of the senator, and they allowed her to do that. And so we took her to Memphis, and which is only 3 hours from us, 3.5 hours. And then she got her interview and she got okayed. And so then she became a green card holder. And so then after 5 years, she became a citizen. She had to take a test, a written test. And the amazing thing about my mom is she only has like maybe a 5th, 6th grade education. You know how it is in the province. My grandpa thought that women should just learn skills for the house, but not going to school, because you're just
Yes, same to my mother, mom. My mother is just like 6th grade only.
Yeah, but my mom was so obviously so smart because she passed the test. And what I did was, what I did was on the written, they give you like a review book. And so what I did was I put like at 5 every day. And then the next day I would do, 6 to 10, but then I review 1 to 10. I was doing that to her, with her right before. I mean, she was so conscientious. We did that like every morning, And so by the time she got her interview, she knew the sentences. Sentences are blank, like for example, today, and then they put the date. My interview is in blank, so Memphis, Tennessee, and it's a long one. It's like more than 10 words. And so, but she knew spelling. She's very good at spelling. So the sentence was fine. She was able to do that. But it's the American history. That's the tricky one. There's 100 possible questions, and they would be asking you like, who was the president during the Civil War? Well, that's Abraham Lincoln. Who was the president? What are the 13 colonies? And you have to name all the 13 colonies. Who was the first president? Washington. Any of those things that sometimes harder. But I think that when I took my citizenship test, I was asked maybe more than 10 questions, I guess because I had college education. But my mom being only elementary, they asked her like maybe 5 questions. That's it. And my mom is so confident. She's like, faking it till she makes it. So anyway, she became a citizen, and then met her American husband that, she was working in my store, and met her. And then now she lives about 5 minutes from me, and her house is way bigger than mine. And so anyway, so that's where we get together and so on. So yeah, I do hope that you get your mom. So once you get here, save some money and then see if you can get your mom. You can just put USCIS forms, and that's where you'll have a list of forms, USCIS forms, and then look for the form for the tourist visa. I think it's a B1.
Yes,
B1
ma'am.
or B2 visa. Yeah.
Yes,
Use
ma'am.
that, do that, follow directions, and then you have to show proof. Like for example, you have a house there, take pictures of that,
Yes,
whatever.
ma'am.
You know, so show that she owns that, and then picture of the family there, you know, especially your dad or whatever. And so
Yes, ma'am.
things like that to prove that she has a connect there. Like I would take a picture of the whole family to show that you have family, so you can go back there, you know. But yeah, I think so. I don't remember what we did for mom. I'm sure that we did all kinds of proof that she's going to come back. But just because my dad was there, that's the whole main thing, is that she was
Oh,
allowed
that's
because she
good.
has a husband that she go for. You know, they did not know if she was not planning to come back you know, to leave my dad. Because she said if she left my dad in the Philippines, he would find her, but not in the US. So the moment that she came, and my sister said, she arrived in Minnesota where my sister was living at that time, and she said, do you know mom is not going back? And I said, what are you talking about? He said, that's what she said. The moment we met her in the airport, she said, you do the paperwork, well, I don't have to go back because I'm leaving your dad. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So that was a shock to me. And it's so funny because she was telling one of my nephews that was staying at the house, you know, helping, said, tell your uncle that auntie is not coming back. And oh my gosh, and he did that. And mom said, here's the money for you to go back to the province car because he's gonna kick you out. That's true. When he was telling my dad, oh, my dad kicked him out. And so good thing that mom already gave him money to go back. Otherwise he would be stuck there, because he said, why did you not tell me before? Anyway, so yes, I hope you do bring your mom. I think it's really fun to bring your parent, because my mom and I really bonded. We go shopping together, we go eat out, and we have this park in Salem that we like to walk around. You know, mom has a really bad arthritis now. She's in her 80s, and so now she cannot walk without help, without like a cane or a walker. So it's pretty rough, but I still go with her. She comes with me to go the 4-hour trip. She comes with me, and then I leave her at the hotel, and she just have fun, you know, in the hotel or whatever. And then I come back and we eat you know, dinner together and do things together, and then I go again. But she stays at the hotel, so, and she loves staying at the hotel. So yeah, there's TV there, and there's a casino there, and there's, you know, there's all kinds of things there. So yeah, so yeah, good luck on that. Once you get here, then process that and see if I do not know if J1 visa could, though. You might want to find out about that. Oh, I mean H1B. I think you might have, I don't know. But I think anybody can just come as a tourist anyway.
Yes, ma'am. As a
Yeah.
tourist, it's okay.
It's a tourist, maybe. Yeah. So
But
anyway,
I think 6 months only.
really? Okay. Well, I didn't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, they said we said about my mom 6 months. Yeah, that's what we said. But the thing is, can you sponsor somebody as a tourist if you're only a J1, I mean an H1B visa? I do not know. I do not know how that works. So
For
anyway,
the J1 visa, no. For the J1, no.
J1 visa,
I
but
don't know for
H1B
the
maybe.
for the
Okay.
H1B, I don't know.
Okay, I don't know. Okay, well, that's something that you might, I try to find out from my brother-in-law. Okay, so anyway,
Thanks,
okay,
ma'am.
well, thank you so much for that. Who else is here? We got everybody's. I think I've met everybody. So let's go to the.
Ma'am Rose Amparo is raising her hand.
Okay, Rose. What's up, Rose? What do you need to know? Thank you, Dr. Alvin. Oh yes, Rose Ann. What's up? I'm having a cold, so I'm like, oh, we're trying to. So Rose, yeah, what's up? What do you need to know?
She's muted.
What is it?
Hi, Doc. Good morning.
Oh, hi. Good morning.
Good evening, everyone. I actually, Doc, have a question for you and for everyone. Recently, I had my interview at Denver, Colorado, Omar D. Clare School, National High School.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the interview was good.
Uh-huh.
With Mom Kirstine, I forgot the name, with Mom Kirstine. Then she had a follow-up. She is a director of the Omar School, Omar D. Blair. I cannot pronounce. Omar D. Blair.
Okay.
Yeah. She actually gave me 6 questions,
Okay. What questions were they?
and a very difficult questions for me.
What did you not see all my did you not look at my
And-
PowerPoint on an interview?
Yes, Doc. What do you mean?
Did you not study the interview tips that I have? Because a lot of the
I
questions are there. Huh?
I actually studied, Doc, and I was very happy to answer all the questions asked to me.
Okay.
I was asked questions like, how do you manage disruptive students in your classroom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's there. It's
that-
there. Okay. What else?
What else? How are you going to handle issues with your colleagues?
Oh wow, it's there. It's there on the thing though. Okay. What else?
What else? Your expected salary range.
Okay. So what did you say? What did you say as your range that you want? Did you say a number?
I mentioned about, I said, Doc, that I am not really familiar with the salary range, but as what I have heard from my friends, it's $40,000, like that, Doc.
40,000 and above. You need to say an above.
Yeah.
Or above. Yeah. You don't say an and. You just start with the one and then you do and above. You don't say 40 to 50 because you don't want to be outside that if in case they do. So yeah, you said at least 40 or above, you know. Okay. And then
Actually, Doc, and she replied like, oh, here in our school, we offer $50,000, like that.
oh nice. Yeah. That's why you don't say a bottom. So that is a public or private school? Is that a public or private school?
Omar D. Blair Charter School, Doc, I guess it's
Charter.
public. I searched it on the net and it's public school.
Uh-huh. It's public school. And charter is usually
Yeah,
started.
she
Yeah. Go ahead. She did what?
Yeah, she actually asked me, Doc, when am I going to go to the US? And then
What did you say? So what did you say to her? Did we lose her?
Yes,
Okay, if I was asked that question while waiting for her to come back, if I were asked that question, okay, what did you say, Rose?
yeah, I just replied, Doc, that I can come as soon as possible, but I still have to settle things here in the Philippines. Maybe I don't know the exact month yet.
No, that's not a good answer because then they'll just move on to the next teacher. So applicant, so you might want to say as soon as possible. When do you need me? And then you know ask them when do you need you, and then they said now our next step would be the J1 visa. Okay, and then I need to go find a J1 visa sponsor. So
Yeah, Doc, she actually rephrased the question like she told me that, can you give me an exact month for you to come here in the US, like that? Then I answered maybe in 2 months, like that. Then probably by December you can come here. So she replied like that, Doc.
good.
And
Okay.
by January, by January you can start your class.
Yeah. Hi, I don't know if you remember that me posting about J1 visa information for administrators. You remember that? Remember that? It might be, it should be on the GC. Get that file downloaded to you and then send that to her. And in that way, she will know the steps to do. And because it had links for the forms, it had everything on it. Don't you think, Dr. Elvin, that would help? You know, for them to know, for them to know what to do, because it explains everything there. So
Yes,
that
Doc.
might be something you should send them, and then keep in touch with that person. Because the more that you keep in touch, you can ask questions, whatever, because that means she knows that you're still interested. Because if they don't hear from you, they think that you already lost interest and they're going to move on to somebody else. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I know.
keep in touch with them. Just make sure you have a weekly conversation with them on whatever reason that you have. You know, keep them on the loop, I guess what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
But then, Doc, I have a problem.
What happened?
Actually, she contacted me again. This time it is the principal. It's just that the principal asked me to make a lesson plan and a demo lesson. And oh my God, I don't know how to make a lesson plan.
You don't know how to make a lesson plan. Don't you do a lesson plan there?
I actually know how to make lesson plan, but then I don't know the format, the template of the lesson plan, of course, in the US. So I really have the difficulty of making, I am used to our lesson plan here, the format and everything.
Then that's what you need to share, because you don't know what you don't know. So you need to share this. In the Philippines, this is the format. We do this, and this. For example, and then you start doing the lesson. You need to say, for example, in my whatever lesson that I did just lately, this is what I did. I started with a do now, for example, for 5 minutes. My kids did that. I made sure that I stated objectives. I stated why we need to know this lesson. Why is it important that they know this lesson? And then however you got them started and what are the activities you did and how you check at every group or every student, monitor they're giving feedback. So you have to show, excuse me, I'm so sorry. So you have to monitor and give feedback, and then, say the things that, for example, my child so-and-so I know he didn't know this, so this is what I did. I pulled and talked, did this one-on-one with this child and did, it's kind of tell them like one lesson you did. So it should be a natural to you because you just shared what your experiences are. So how did you handle that?
Yeah, she actually gave me what's that called? Standards, a competency in here in the Philippines. She actually gave me a competency that I'm going to use in my lesson plan, and I actually did. I asked the help of Christine of the format, the usual format. Then I make my own lesson plan and I send it to them. Just yesterday, and just this afternoon they sent me an interview for the second round.
Good. Okay. So
Yeah.
when is that going to be?
Second round interview. And that will be on Monday, yeah, 8 to 9 a.m.
Okay, good luck. I want you to watch the Josephine video because they may ask you some of the questions I asked Josephine. Do you have that Josephine video?
Yes, Doc. She actually gave me the possible questions for the interview.
Oh, wow. That's good.
Yeah, like she mentioned about how I'm going to handle the students who got low scores like that.
Okay.
And how am I going to a scenario? Actually, this is a scenario. She actually gave me a scenario, and those are the questions that I'm going to answer during the interview according to her.
Okay. Well, if you want to Zoom with me and we can practice those, I don't mind doing that. Okay, so you just email me the time that's good for you and we will Zoom that, and we can you can share that document with me, and then I will help you with how to answer it.
Wow.
So you will pass. So you will pass it because one of my superintendent friends said, Merlina, the applicants that were under with your list are so good at answering questions. She could tell the difference between the others that were not in my group because they're not as good as answering questions. And that's why a bunch of our folks got in, 30-something people, because they're good at answering questions. So I don't mind Zooming with you whenever in your convenience. I should be home the next 4 days, not traveling. I'll travel on Wednesday. But yeah, anytime you just let me know and I will Zoom with you real quick. Okay. I would like to see that scenario. And I would like to help you.
Tomorrow, Doc, I'll ask you, Doc.
Yeah. So yeah, do you let me see. Do you have the paperwork that shows the scenario?
Doc?
Do you have the paperwork that shows the scenario?
Yeah, I have here.
Okay. Do you mind sharing it? Do you mind? I'll put down here where you can share. I would like everyone else to see this because a bunch of the schools will do this also. we can just do this. Instead of me Zooming with you, I want to Zoom with everybody else and then tell you how to handle it. That way everybody else will know. What do you think, everyone? You think that's a good idea?
Yes, ma'am, that is a good idea.
Let's do that. And in that way, everybody else will also see and learn from it.
Vanderbilt
Okay,
also
Doc.
give me a
And
scenario.
I will just read the scenario, Doc. Will that be okay?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay, so the scenario is, it is Wednesday afternoon. You have just gotten done helping supervise dismissal for scholars, and you are exhausted. You go through your email to find this from a parent. I am writing to you because I'm fed up. My son Bishop is failing your class, and I want to know why. He says you never have anything good to say about him, only negative feedback. I asked Bishop, and he said it's because you hate him and you want him to fail. I want him removed from this class, and I want a meeting with you and the principal as soon as possible. Thank you, Mrs. Colbert.
Ha! That's what question do you think that came from? For folks that have seen, what question did that come from my tip? How to handle what? Anybody?
How to handle misbehaving students, Doc?
And what else?
Doc,
No, not
allow me
quite
to answer
misbehaving.
the
They're not really
question.
misbehaving. They're what?
Disruptive
Disruptive.
behavior.
Well,
Disruptive.
Allow me to answer the question.
go ahead.
First and foremost, I would say that there was a miscommunication, that the student misinterpreted my dealings with him, but my apology, because I would like to take seriously about the situation. So there's no need to call for the principal. I myself would probably, if you would allow me to visit your house or your home, so that I could speak with you personally, together with your son or your child. But of course, I have to ask permission also from the school principal. So probably in that situation, the parent will probably ease a little bit their heart, precisely because there was really a miscommunication all throughout. That's why the child thought that you hated the the child thought that you hated him, but actually it's the other way around. So we take care of our kids. So probably, Doc, I would find my way on how to explain.
Okay.
To get the sympathy of the mother or the parents, and then go back from where we started.
Okay, you're right path. Yes. First thing you would do is to write back to the parents, and Dr. Elvin was right, but I would not offer, I don't think I would offer the going to the home, because if a parent is that mad at you, you do not want to go there. You could get shot. I would not do that, especially in America. So anyway, so do not offer that in America, okay? Unless you really know your community. But anyway, so first of all, thank you so much for writing this letter. And as my partner in education, as my partner in educating your child, I am very interested in knowing what you feel and think about, how your child is doing. And then you answer point by point. I wish I wrote it down, point by point, on what the child said. Ultimately, you're really saying that there could be, so like Dr. Elvin said, there could be some miscommunication or misreading of my nonverbal, reactions and my facial expressions. There might be a miscommunication there, and I would love to have the opportunity to correct that. At the same time, I also would reflect on my teaching and see, what are the things that I'm doing that could be different, so that my students will not misinterpret it this way, whatever. But in order to clear all this miscommunication, I would love to meet with you, and so I would love for you to give me the opportunity, to get this straightened out, and that to form that even closer relationship with your child, so that your child will not think that I hate him or whatever. And so then So you say that, and then after that, you said, then you have to, you don't just stop there. You say you are, then I will schedule in the bottom of my letter, I would schedule a conference, a face-to-face conference with this mother. And I would also tell the principal when it's going to be. So in case with this principal, we need a principal, we will call, him or her in in order for him to be involved if needed. So you can, you show that you can handle it yourself first. Okay, because the protocol is you communicate with the teacher, and then you go to the principal, and then superintendent, right? And so that's the protocol. And so then when I talk to the mother, or to the, this mother coming in, first thing I would do is to get up, shake her hand, and or fist bump, whatever it is that to greet. I will greet the mother, and then we will sit down, and I will make sure that when we sit down, I'm not going to be on my desk. I'm going to be facing side by side with her, like maybe in front of my desk, or, 2 different chairs. I want to make sure that she knows that we are right there as partners. I'm not going to be, like, so that would also already help, you see? So, and then we will talk point by point. And then I will correct point by point. And you say those things that child said, that, the point that you're saying is that there was a miscommunication. So maybe, I need to smile more, maybe because I was more of thinking about my lesson, and maybe I was not I should have been smiling or whatever. And then sometimes children would misinterpret that. So maybe I need to be more reflective and think about how I can improve my facial expressions in order for children to not misinterpret it. For example. And also I will make sure that I will get to know your child. To me, it's so important. Knowledge of students is as important as knowledge of my content or my subject. So I will make sure that I will do a better job of getting to know my students, especially your child. Okay. So then if you know something about that child, for example, I already know that your child loves collecting airplanes. So I will make sure that on my lesson next time, I will use that as an example in order to acknowledge him, in order to validate him. So, you go point by point. I'm hoping that you'll give me an opportunity to still teach your child. And then if it doesn't work, then maybe we could consider meeting with the principal. And, if our personalities just don't work out, then maybe we can do that step, but right now I would love for us to try with you as my partner in education. I would love for us to try and to make sure that, that all these points, whatever it is, the points that she said are handled. So essentially this child may have gotten, you can also say something about, because this had happened to me. You could also say, you know what, there might have been an incident that I have to I don't know how you say that I was trying to correct your child, and maybe, maybe he's misunderstood that I was trying to correct the behavior. I was not happy about the behavior, but I was not unhappy with him. It was just, I was wanting to correct the behavior. And you can even like say an example of it. But anyway, but if you don't want to go there, just say something about you are trying to reflect, and you are trying to, to help this child improve. So what else can be added to that? Anybody? Can somebody tell me what else to add to that? And then at the end, you need to finish it up by saying, well, I guess you should start with, after you greet, you need to say, I want to listen to the teacher, to the parent. I want the parent to talk, and I'm listening, and I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes of what the parent said. Okay. And after that, you need to say, then when she's finished, then it's my turn. I will take my notes, and I would say, so this is what I'm hearing you say, this, and this. Okay. And so let's talk about it point by point and see. And then you start talking about each point, and all this. And then you start showing that you are a reflective teacher. I'm going to reflect. It's not your child's fault. It is, I need to also examine myself and my practice, so that I want to make sure that when children are grouping, I want to make sure that I validate everyone, especially including your child, and that I need to make sure I'm smiling, because sometimes my face could be misinterpreted because maybe I don't smile as much as the other teachers. So I would like to reflect on that and to make sure, you just have to show that here you are wanting to work with this child, and here you are wanting to be partner with that parent. Okay. And then, but address all point by point. But I think the first 3 things that you did was the listening part and taking notes part and validating part. Those are the 3 important things you can do. You can say at first, and then just make sure every point in that letter is addressed. Okay. And so, when a child, I will always involve you. If there's something that I need to discuss with your child, I will always let you know through communication. I'll be writing you a note or texting you. If something negative happens, if something positive happens in the classroom, I would be communicating with you. Maybe you said I need to do a better job at communicating with you, something like that. And so hopefully this will improve, and you would give me a chance to, to get to know your child more, because I love, working with him. I really think that he's good at this. Come up with something. He's very good at drawing, and he's got very good leadership skills. He leads the class. He leads his group. And so I would love for him to be in my class because he's an asset to our class. And I wanted to, so kind of like parang ano ba, you just compliment the child more and get to know the child more, and then giving you the opportunity to still teach that child. But in the end, if it really does not work after I try all this, then yes, we can be meeting with the principal, and yes, you can move your child. Sometimes it might just be a personality conflict, that there's just some teacher and student that do not mix. So hopefully this is not the case, but if it is the case, we will do what you want. But I'm hoping that you will give me a chance. So thank you so much for coming, and I appreciate that you do to help your child succeed, and I will do my part. Something like that. Yeah. So what do you think, Rose? This is recorded, Rose. This is recorded. You can always see it again. Huh?
Take note of that.
Yeah, it's recorded. So you can watch it again. Huh? So you can watch it again and see so the things that are included. I'm not as smooth as I should have been, but the ideas are there. So what are the things that you got from what I said? What's your takeaway?
Yes, Doc.
What's your takeaway? What did you learn from what I said?
Yeah, I learned, Doc, about what you said earlier about how to handle the parents in a positive way, Doc, so that of course the parents will know that you are partners and you are very supportive of the child.
Yes, to the child. Yes, of the child, supportive of the child. So yeah, and very good. And that you are calm. Okay, calmly. You are very calm, and you're there to listen. Okay, you are there to listen. It's not about you, it's about the child. And you need to, and you can even in the wrap up, you can do a summary there saying that, I in this scenario, I learned that it's important for the teacher to be, to be communicative, to really communicate more with the parents, to listen to the parents, and to make sure that you have a really good relationship with students. And to do that, I need to have knowledge of students. I need to have that trusting relationship built with my students, so that none of my students should feel the way that this child feels. So you can kind of summarize it that way, and that way that they know that, oh, this teacher knows how to handle it. Angry parent and motivated child. That's actually a combination of 2 tips: the how to deal with angry parents and unmotivated child, or could be a disruptive one of those. So it's a combination of a child problem and a parent problem. Okay, so you get those tips and you get what I just said to you, and I think you should do well. What do you think, everyone? What do you think about this, about the answer? Anybody?
That was great, Doc. Very helpful. So I really learned so much about that scenario, how to handle the parents and how to go about with it calmly and getting ready to listen to what the parents would say. But you have to talk to the parent point by point, because you have to explain that there was actually miscommunication, and the child probably misunderstood your nonverbal
Communication.
communication, just like what you said,
Mhm.
and then treat the parent as partner, and tell the parent that I'll do better. I'll do a better job in communicating with them next time, probably. And
Yes.
then so your answer really helped us a lot tonight. I really took note of that, and then good luck to Ma'am Rose.
Yes. Good luck.
Probably the question will be asked anytime soon to us. Any one of us
Yeah.
would be given the same scenario, so that probably next time we're already
You know how to do
read,
it. Yeah.
hear on how to go about that situation.
Right. But notice I used the 5 core propositions there. I noticed the knowledge of students. I noticed
Yes.
the knowledge of content, and then assessing your child. And then you are reflective, and then you are collaborating with the parents. You are using
Collaborating
all
with
5 core
parents.
propositions there. Yep. And so if you don't remember how to do it, just if you memorize the core propositions, just say something about each core proposition and you should be fine. You know, and that the important thing in the summary that you do for your interviewees, you may want to say, interviewers, you may want to say that this one thing that I learned from one of my Zoom meetings is that I have to treat my students, as if the invisible parent is sitting next to them. And that's going to guide me, to make sure that even if I'm angry or whatever I'm feeling, that I will never do what that scenario says about being hateful to students and about whatever. That's not me. That doesn't describe my class. That doesn't describe how I handle my students, because I'm, in my classroom, I'm positive, I'm doing this, so you're gonna, at the end, you need to summarize what you said, and also that show them what you do in your classroom. Okay, in my classroom, my students are always doing some things to get to know me. In my classroom, for example, we do the class meeting every morning, so I get to know my students, and we do a lot of all about you things, beginning of the year. So we really get to know your students, and then also I stand by my door, outside my door, and I treat them and I talk to them real quick, and in the playground, I talk to my students. I even attend extracurricular activities so that I get to know more about their interest outside, and collaborate with parents in the community. So you can kind of talk about the good things about, what you do in education. And I think you got it made. I think that should get you the job, hopefully. We're hoping.
Good, Doc.
We're hoping you'll be on
Actually-
top. What?
Yeah, actually, Doc, with regards to 5 core propositions that you mentioned, I am very happy because I actually answered that in one of the questions in my interview with her, last week. So the question is, what are your top 3 priorities as a teacher? That is a question. Yeah, and I answered my first priority is my students. It's very important that as a teacher, I must apply the 5 core propositions like that. And I explained, Doc, every propositions to her.
What did you say? What did you say?
Yes. Then she actually, Doc, said that, wow, I was really impressed by your answer about top 3 priorities. And I guess the thing that she was impressed is the 5 core propositions that I mentioned.
If you have that's so funny. That's good. That's good, by the way. If you have a interviewer that's a national board certified teacher, they're gonna say, that's national board. Where did you learn that? So they're gonna ask you that, because that's very national board. I mean, only the 10% in the United States with the United States teachers that are national board. So 90% are not. So if you happen to be in one of that with a teacher that has it, they will recognize it, because all national board certified teacher like me would know that by heart. And when you know that by heart, so for you all to know that and use it in your interview, that should give you an edge over everybody else. Okay, and I'm proud of you for using it. Good job. So she liked it, huh? So which you were asking, so you said two things, and what else were the third one that you said? What's the third thing that you did?
Actually, the first one is my students.
Uh-huh.
The second one, my second priority is my professional growth and development.
Okay.
And my third priority, Doc, is good relationship with the stakeholders like the administrators, my co-teachers.
Very good. Those are good answers. Those are really good answers. You just chose three of the core propositions and then expound on it. Very good. Yeah. And everybody, if you do that, you should have a very good answer. If you understood the 5 core propositions and you just go and give examples from that, that should be a good answer. Way to go. Way to go. Good job. Let's give a round of applause to Rose. Yes,
Doc, I actually tremble when I answer. The truth is, I tremble when I answer. That was my first time, really.
You will get calmer on the next one. You know, if you ever get an interview again or the next level, you would be calmer because you have to be confident that I know these answers. I can handle it. I've got the core propositions as my guide and I could handle it. Okay. Well, good job. Thank you for sharing that. Layla, did you ever use the 5 core proposition? Yeah, go ahead. What did you say, Rose?
Yeah, another doc addition. She also asked me, how do I plan my lesson?
Okay, so you did, and that's what you did. You said you sent it. Yeah, that's good. And so what you can always, everybody else, you can always Google lesson plans, quotation mark lesson plans, or your lesson plan ideas or lesson plan template. You know, if you do that in Google, you should be able to see all kinds of template. In America, every school uses a different template. There's no standard template that Department of Education is giving them. Every school uses their own template. Even in the same, in the 253 school districts in Arkansas, there's not very many that would use the same. So you can use whatever, you know, that you know, and that's what you should use. Because then yeah, and that's all right, because when you go and get employed by another school district, they're gonna, in your orientation, they're gonna give you the template. So so just know that what you know is what you know. You know, you don't have to worry about what you do not know about the US. Okay. All right. So yay. That made me happy. That's good. So good luck again, Rose, on your next level. Okay.
Yes, Doc, thank you. Hopefully praying.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully you get it. You have to let us know. You have to attend and tell us, okay? Yes.
Yes,
Layla, I was to you and say, whenever you did your interview, did you use the 5 core proposition at all?
My interview is different from Rose, ma'am. Dr. Merlina. In somehow we have a scenario also. For the second interview, they gave me a video, and they want me to analyze the video by written examination. So there is also a scenario there, and you're going to answer them. You have to send them back the your answer in a PDF form.
Very good. So you must have done a good job on that too. That is good. Yeah. So I would have looked for the 5 core propositions when I watched the video. Yeah. You could use that as a guide too. Very good.
Then she also asked me what do you mean by a good lesson plan, and then I just
how did you answer that? How did you answer that?
So I just defined that my lesson plan should be SMART. So that is specific, measurable, attainable, reliable, and time bounded. And then I explained every letter there, and then that's it. Yeah,
that's good. You use the word SMART. Yes, that's a very good answer, by the way, when it comes to lesson plan. Yes. So everybody, when you have I want you to Google SMART and lesson plans quotation, because it will show you. It will show you an example. It would show you what it is for every letter. You know, so she just said a short one of that. But if you want more detailed example of it, it's on the internet. So you might want to do that. So it sounds like you did an awesome job too, Layla. Yeah.
But it it
Answers, Doc.
took them 1 month to
Decide.
contact me. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they're
I-
also considering other, they have to also
yes,
wait
yes,
for the
ma'am.
others. Yeah. All right. So how about anybody else here who had already experienced interview from the US or other places other than the Philippines? What questions did you learn that they did? Anybody? I know that Mike has done it. I know Elvin has done it. Who else? Anybody else from here? The new ones? Giselle, have you experienced it?
Hello, Doc.
Hey, Giselle, do you have you experienced being interviewed?
No, Doc, I haven't
Not yet.
had my resume yet because I don't have my passport. My schedule for passport is on December.
Yeah, but
pa,
you
Doc.
can still send it because they're not
Ah.
gonna need a passport until you come.
Okay, Doc.
Okay.
And as of now, also, Doc, I enrolled myself in a masteral class.
Okay,
So
that's fine. If
I-
it's online, is it online?
Yes, Doc. We're having modular and online, Doc.
Okay. Well, if you are not ready to do if you're not ready with all the paperwork, you can still send me your cover letter and resume. That way your
Okay.
name is already there while you're processing the other stuff, okay? Because you don't
Okay,
need the
Doc.
other things until you are hired anyway.
Okay.
So the
you,
priority is to get your cover letter and resume done, okay? You can ask from Abby or Leslie for examples if you want, and just edit it with your information. Yeah, ask them for their sample. Yeah, good idea.
Abby already sent me, Doc, the
Okay,
cover
good.
letter and the sample cover letter and her resume. So
Okay,
I'll
just
be doing
edit that, add what you think on the cover letter, something that's yours, and then just edit the information on the resume. Because that's a good format that she has. Okay.
Okay, Doc.
All right, good luck. I know you might be thinking also that your baby's so young that I don't know if you want to wait a year. I know Abby left when the baby was only 4 months. I can't
Yes,
believe
Doc.
it. But yeah, I could never do it. That's why I said you are way tougher than me because I'm crying when I'm like, away from a baby for a day. I'm crying. So to be away for years, that would be hard for me. Yeah, but hopefully she'll
Yeah.
bring the baby here soon though. Hopefully.
And I'm thinking because my babies, Doc, are premature.
Yeah, you really need to take care
So
of that baby.
I'm still,
Yeah.
but they're doing now. Okay, Doc.
Okay. Well, you have, as a mother, of course, our priority would be our children. Okay. And our job will be, will be third because really God and family and then our job possibly. But so what's good for your family, and a child to be premature, she's going to need your mama. So yeah, I would really make sure that that baby's okay before you even decide about leaving the baby. Okay. Because
But
that is,
I really thought, Doc, that I have to have my passport before passing something like that.
no,
So-
you give me the cover letter and you give me your resume, and then the whole time you're processing all the other stuff. Okay,
Okay.
but you need your name out there. You need your name and
Okay.
your information out there already. Okay, and if you can
So
get me the
I'm gonna
2-minute
send
video, that would even help more. But those are the
Okay.
two things that's really important for them to see, because that makes them decide on, do I need the other paperwork? Am I interested in this teacher? Okay, so those are the two things that you really need to give me first. And if you can get 3 letters of
Doc.
references, that's even better. The 3 references you mentioned in the bottom, if you can get a letter from them, that's also going to be helpful.
Okay, Doc.
Okay, so they need to say nice things about you. So one from a colleague, one from a supervisor, and one as a character reference, just all about you, as a person. So yeah,
Okay, Doc.
three of them. Okay, and if they work at a school, make sure they have a letterhead, using their letterhead to make it really
Okay.
more legitimate. Okay. All right. Well, good luck on that.
Thank you so much, Doc.
Okay. How about Janice? I see Janice over here. Janice, do you mind turning on your camera? I would love to see you.
Good evening, Doc.
Hi, good evening. Janice, you're new, aren't you? Or have you been here before?
No, I'm just a new one.
Okay. Who gave you our information? The Zoom.
Sir Mike.
Oh, thank you, Mike. So Mike, you need to introduce us
Yes, Doc.
to Janice. How did you know Mike? How did you know each other?
He just messaged me. It was yesterday, sir.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I just saw him. I just saw her in one of the group. I think she is also. In short, ma'am, She is one of the aspiring applicant in the US, and I'm introducing her in one of our schools to take the masters in special education, and then it happens that I invited her to
Okay.
join our Zoom now.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I want to challenge everyone to invite someone because I think that's really good. You know, you learn a lot. And so, hey, tell us about you, if you don't mind.
Oh, actually, I am a secondary school teacher here in Bacolod City, teaching technology and livelihood education. I am teaching hearing impaired and visually impaired starting 2007 until now
Okay.
in TLE. So far, I want to try my luck in the US. So that is why I try to ask in one of the J1. So I asked one question if I can apply for J1 even I don't have a educational background in SPED, only experience here in Bacolod.
They would like for your license to match your experience. So do you have any, your license is when? Is for what area?
In secondary education, teaching TLE or technology and livelihood education.
But you're teaching SPED. You don't have any, you don't have any experience at all in TLE at all?
I have my experience is teaching technology and livelihood education in hearing impaired and visually impaired.
Okay, then you really are doing your area. Why did you say you're not doing your area of licensure?
Come again, Doc?
Is that, are you saying that you're doing special ed instead of the technology? Is that what you're saying to me?
No, Doc. Actually, I am teaching the subject technology and livelihood education in visually impaired and hearing impaired students.
Okay, so why do you feel like it's not your area then?
Because I don't have the SPED units in my bachelor.
Okay, but you're still teaching the area you have a license on. Yeah, so you don't worry about it. Don't focus on that. Okay, don't focus on that, because if they ask you about that, you can just tell them I'm already on the process of working on it. But you're still teaching the area that you have a license in. So whenever you get whenever you introduce yourself, you say your name, number of experience, what degree you have, or if you're working on your master's, and then tell them your passion. You know, I got into education because, you know, and then I want to go to the US because, you know, and you want to grow professionally and personally, and you want to improve your family situation or whatever. But just do not focus on that. Don't say, well, I'm teaching out of my area. No. They're just having you put an X on your name. Okay, so don't put things that would be a disadvantage for you, because you really are doing the area that you're supposed to. You just do not have the extra certification. That's what you're saying, right? But you're working on it. In the US, you actually have 2 years. They give you an alternative licensure plan, an ALP, and then you have 2 years to get certified in the areas you're teaching. Okay, so you will get an ALP. Yeah, you'll get an ALP on the out of area. They have an out of area paperwork that the school has to do, but that's okay. Okay, so
thank you, Doc.
Yeah, that will be your first question. So I would like for you to challenge you to write a 2 to 3 minute information about yourself and memorize it, and look in the mirror or say it to your family members, so that when you get your interview, it's very smooth. Okay, my name is Merlina McCullough. I am don't say your age. Okay, say your education. Don't say about your family. Okay, personal information does not have to be there, because it's illegal for them to ask you about that anyway. Okay, so it's just all about education. If you have any training that really impacted you, you know, that you're excited about, you can share that, but everything about education. And then you say something about, I love students, I love teaching students, how you feel about, education. Those are the things that you can include in your 2 to 3 minute speech. I call that elevator speech. If you have to pitch something to somebody in the elevator, do it quickly. And that's what you need to do on your introduction. Okay, so everybody should prepare something like that, because it makes your interview start really well, because you are very fluent, you're saying this really fluently. You're not like, stopping and pausing. It's very smooth. So I want to challenge you and everyone to do that. Okay.
Okay, Doc. Thank you very
All right.
much, Doc.
Yeah, you're welcome. Send me your resume and cover letter, and I will get you included. And then while you're working on other things, because when you send it to me, I'll give you the other requirements, and then you can be working on it, but you already will be on my list. Okay.
Thank you, Doc.
All right. You're welcome. No problem. Thank you for attending. Thank you, Mike, for inviting. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. Who else? Albert. Albert, do you want to talk to us, Albert? Or Mary Noor? Any of you?
Hello, Doc. Good
Hello.
evening.
Good evening. Yeah. Albert, how are you? It's dark out
I'm
there.
fine, Doc.
It's dark out there. Are you outside? Are you
Yes,
outside, Albert?
Yes, Doc. Yes, Doc. I'm in our kitchen.
Okay, that's fine. And then I think I've talked to you once, didn't I?
Yes, Doc. Last time.
Yeah, that's what I said. So did you learn anything so far on what we discussed here today? I was going to talk about strategies, but I think we've discussed important things about interview and so on. That's, I think, is just as important. I know we're over now, Dr. Elvin, I know you're watching, but we're going to go over today because I want to talk about strategies also, okay? Okay, go ahead. Albert, what did you learn so far and what we have talked about? I'm doing the 10-2 strategy. Go ahead.
Yes, Doc. By just listening, I've learned a lot of things, and one that caught my mind is about the issue of Ma'am Amparo, about the disruptive student. And I just want to ask if Americans are really fond of complaining. Are they very aggressive in complaining about issues of their students?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you don't ever ask that question like that, because it makes it sound like you're stereotyping. We don't know all the Americans, like we don't know all the Filipinos. So instead of saying that, you say are some. You have to use the word some. That way you're not saying all of the Americans or all of the Filipinos. Yep, everybody, the word some, S-O-M-E, is very important, because if you don't say that, then it's look like all. Some, yes, some parents would be that. But if you have a very good relationship with your students, they love you, you will never hear from the parents negatively. Okay. I never heard any negative things of that. So many years I have taught from the parents, because I love their kids. I treat my kids like they are my biological kids. They love me, I love them. And so you never hear like, negative things. So in parent teacher conference, it's almost like a pat in your back if you have a very good positive relationship with your students. So work on that and you wouldn't have any issues. Okay, but there are going to be some parents that would do that, that would still, they are the negative Nancy's, or what do you call that? Marites. You always have Marites. You will have some of that, but you solve that by having good relationship with the students. Yeah, and then communicate with the parents. Yeah.
Doc, we keep on calling the attention of parents, but parents do not come to school because they are afraid of the teachers, and they are ashamed that their child has an issue.
Okay,
and
that's a Filipino thing. Yeah. So how do you solve that?
Yes, Doc.
So how do you address that?
So yes, I write a letter to the parent, and 3 times before the parent will come, and when the parent come, I'll tell the parents, I'm so thankful of your presence, because we are partners in educating your child.
Good.
So we need to talk. We need to talk about the performance of your child. So the parent will feel that his child is really given attention by the teacher, and we will first give all the positive attribute, positive things about the student, that your child is very good. However, I just wonder why at this moment she behaved this way. That's why I write a letter so that we may know if the child has a problem at home.
Well,
So the parents will tell everything.
right. But
And
you might,
for the
yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead and finish.
yes, and for that the parent will tell everything about the behavior of his child at home, and so you can also conclude that the behavior of the child in school is the same behavior he is displaying at home.
Okay.
So for that doc, so you can I try to tell the parents that if I can home visit, so that I will know many things about the their station situation at home, and for that I discovered the the kind of living they have,
Okay.
that
Their situation, their
that
living
child is
situation.
yes,
Mhm.
yes, why the child is behaving that way, to cover the what we call this uh to keep hidden the para hindi siya mag self pity, dok ba,
Okay.
nga
To help the child, to
yes,
help the child's confidence.
yes.
Okay.
And for that the parent, I told the parent that don't be afraid to come and visit us, because that's for the good of your child. And that the parent said, "Yes, because I'm ashamed. uh I always think that when my child is making some disruptive behavior in school, I'm ashamed to go to school, because uh he is also bullied by his neighbors, that, oh, your child again is doing some uh ano na disruptive behavior in school." So that's it.
Okay. Well,
It's a shame.
well, you have instead of just saying very good, your student is very good, you need to be specific. Your child is very good at drawing. Your child is very good at having good relationship with his classmates. Your child is very courteous or respectful or whatever. You need to be specific, not just that we say the word good or very good, because as a parent, I would not know what you meant. So you always need to be specific. I always say specific is terrific. You say that. I like the way that you handle that, where you're very communicative with the parents. You communicate well with them. When you get an interview and you mention the word visiting school visit, home visit, you want to say something about, in the Philippines, we do home visits. So in this situation, I would do this. Okay, you need to clarify that, because in the US, that's not done anymore. We don't do home visits anymore. It just got too dangerous here. So we do not do home visits at all. And so even with my local community, where there's only a few people living, they still do not do home visits. And so yeah, but show that, and show that you found different ways to contact them. You've called them, you had emailed them, you had finally sent them a letter. Okay. And you also showed that you understand that, that maybe some parents do not feel comfortable, with coming to school, because parents are basing their experience in school from their own experience at school. Okay. And in our culture, we're very sensitive also about what people think about us. How our neighbors think. So you explain those, because the explanation, the answer that you did was good, but as more of an American listening to it, that I would like to understand more about your culture, because that's not the same as here. We don't do home visits. We don't worry about what people think about bullying. Our kids in the neighborhood, we worry about the one in school, because they do that school. But the ones in the neighborhood, they don't ever worry about that, because in the US, our neighbors are so far away. In a lot of places, we don't really know about our neighbor even. Sometimes we don't even know our next door neighbor. And on the other side of, the house, they just very, individual. And so they don't do the community, spirit thing that we have in the Philippines. So yeah, I think that's the way you handle that. That's really good, because it shows that you did try and you did get the parents in. So yeah, good job. And then So you do your
Yes,
sandwich method. You're saying about what's good with the student, then you say what you want them to improve. And then at the very end, you say another good thing. So you do a sandwich, okay? 2 breads, 2 positive, and then the meat in the middle of what you want them to work on. Okay? So,
yes.
so
Thank you
good.
very much, Doc. Thank you, Doc.
Yeah, awesome job. Yes. And then who else did we need to talk? Mary Noor, do you want to talk to us, Mary Noor?
Hello, hello, hello,
Yeah.
good day, Dr. Merlina.
Yeah, start
Yes,
with, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I have attended already a past Zoom meeting, but I didn't yet I didn't not yet pursue my application because we got a problem where my grandma was sent to the hospital. That's it.
Oh,
And now it's here already. And then this is my chance for me to pursue again my application to be a teacher in US.
okay, very good. You need to send it to me, my last name, McCullough, Merlina @gmail.com. You send it to me. I need your cover letter and your resume, and I will tell you the rest of the requirements. That will just get you in to me quickly. Okay, so make sure it had a
Thank you.
picture on it, because when I put put it on my Excel, that I have a picture with your picture on it. Yeah, did you say somebody went to the hospital?
Yeah, my grandmother.
Oh, is she okay now?
Yeah, she's already here. She got her operation,
Okay.
and yeah, she is already 90 years old, so that's
Oh,
why she
wow.
got a critical operation. But
Right.
now it's okay.
She's okay. Well, I wish that she will continue to be well. Okay, I know that's really hard for that age, 90 something. That's, we want
Yeah,
them to be
yeah,
healthy. Yeah, we want them
yeah.
to be especially healthy, to stay longer with us, right? Yeah.
Yes,
I'm sorry you had to deal with that, but anyway, if you want to focus on getting that, that the resume and cover letter, the sooner you give it to me, the sooner that you will be on the list. So, so you want to send those to me if you want to, okay?
yes,
So,
Carolina. Thank you for that opportunity.
oh, no problem. Now, did you get to introduce yourself last time? I don't remember. I've slept since then.
Yeah, I have, but I'm willing to say it again.
Yeah, practice again. Practice again.
Okay. Okay, by the way, good day to everyone here. So my name is Mary Norcy Ortea. I am an elementary teacher here in the Philippines and currently working in a public school here in Bacoor, Cavite. And I graduated Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education, and I also had my master degree, but I didn't finish it. I only had my 33 units of it, which is Master in Educational Management. And then I've been teaching for almost 10 years, more than 10 years in a public school. And yes, teaching is my passion. I love my student. I love seeing my student enjoy on my class while they are learning.
Okay, very good. Very fluent, yes, and very informative. And you did you say something about why you want to
Yeah.
teach in the US?
Yes.
You want,
Yes, I would like to go in the US. Of course, that is my dream since I was graduated in college. But of course, there should be qualification and credential that I need to earn, and then also the experience. Then since I already have my 10 years experience, I have my I'm confident to apply, and I know teaching in US is a great opportunity for me to grow, for my professional growth, and for me to expand and extend my care and my passion in teaching in the for the students of US.
okay. You might want to write the 2 to 3 minute speech, okay, because you have some really good meat there, but it's not as I guess flowing in some of the places. So you may want to do that, but you have really great information there. You need to say, instead of was graduated, you need to say I graduated, and you want to say you just say bachelor, you need to say with bachelor, little things like that you can tweak. But other than that, you is fine. That was me with literacy specialist talking. But other than that, as Merlina here, the mentor here, you're fine. So yeah, and you said the US, which is good because a lot of time you just say US, you say the US, the Philippines. Yeah, I always say that. Mike is already like, yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, it's Mike. Do you have any comment on her introduction? I'm gonna pick on you right now. What's your comment?
Yes, Doc. I want to commend her for her introduction, and I know she's ready.
Yeah,
She's ready
Go
about
ahead.
the application, and yeah, and like what you are saying, always be yourself
Yeah,
during the interview.
yes. Yeah,
Thank
don't talk too fast. Like finish your sentence and let every word count. So notice how you pause. You do, that's what I did too. And so, so when I went to my doctorate degree, I said, Merlina, you talk too fast. You need to say,
There is no time limit.
yeah, make every word count. Okay, so form your sentence where you have to say that every sentence is important. Stop. And then you get the next one. It takes years to practice, but you will get there. I still go back to very fast talking when I'm nervous or I'm excited. Like I have a lot of things to say and I would go so fast. So you want to slow down and try to do it, to make every word count. Okay. So because you also are looking at the reactions for every sentence that you say, look for the reaction. Is it a positive one? Is it not? And then go on and explain. So I know that's easier talk than done, but anyway, yeah, you can do it. You are ready, like Mike said. You are very fluent, and that 10 years of experience will also be helpful to you. Okay, so be confident that I have. Yeah, be confident.
Thank you. And
yeah, go ahead.
yes, all your comment and suggestion is already noted.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, be confident. Right now, you kind of look shy. So do what we do. Like, we're faking. I'm kidding. We're making it. But anyway, so yeah, just look at them in the eye because it's so important. So you're looking right at your camera because then you're looking at them in the eye. Do not just look down. Okay. And so other than that, you're good. You're ready to you ready for that interview? Did you see the Josephine video that I sent? Look back on the GC. If you ever get an interview, you need to look back at the GC history. And then there's the 2 videos there of Josephine. I don't, Mike may be able to put that back on, and also the interview tips and also the J1 visa one, information. Those 3 things are important for all the applicants, I think. So yeah, well, welcome again. And I'm so glad you came back. That's always a good thing. When somebody, I had a store, and when customers came back, I'm like, oh, so I did okay the first time they came in, we had a good experience. So hopefully you continue to attend. We have some regulars here, and they I think they can guess already what I say because they've attended so many times. But okay, well, thanks again. And let me see, Janice or Furby, any of you that want to talk, that would be great. Janice, Furby. If you just want to listen, it's okay too. You just let me know. I just want to hear that you're still there. You didn't go sleep. Now remember, in your classroom, you do not ever force your students. If they need to take, okay, you want to take some time. I want you, you can do, how about you calling a friend, calling a person, calling your classmate? Let me have you call another classmate, because they're not ready, but yet you're still validating them by having them call another person. Okay, so that's what you can do. So this too.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, Doc.
There you are. I didn't know if you want to talk for a
I'm sorry, I was muted. I did not recognize.
Okay, yeah.
I was about to edit my resume that I sent you because I don't have my character references on it. So I am editing it right now.
That's fine. Just to
So
send it
I
to me,
can,
and yeah, and I will update you. You're a pretty girl over there.
yes. Oh, thank you. My child.
Oh,
Hi.
hello. Hello. So cute.
Yes,
What is she
thank
still
you.
up this late of a night? You don't have a nighttime sleeping schedule?
Yes. During the weekends, that is the time that we are sleeping.
Freedom.
We actually don't have time.
Yeah, that's what I did
It
too. Don't
depends on
worry.
her.
Yeah.
Actually, it depends on her on what time we're going to sleep.
Wow. How old is she? How old is she?
She's almost 4.
Oh my gosh, you are a very laid back mama. I was strict with my kids before school because I guess I was always like worried that the brain development, all that stuff. And so I always had a schedule until they went to kindergarten. And right before kindergarten, you may want to put her in a schedule because so she can get used to it. Yeah.
I try to do that, but I don't know. She's being stubborn when it comes to sleeping.
Yeah.
But my other kid who is 10-year-old, when I told him that he has to go to sleep, he go to sleep. But this one, she's being stubborn.
Yeah. Just make sure.
But I think when she gets older, maybe she will understand and will follow me. I hope so.
Right.
I hope
Yeah.
so.
I know we have kids here that we have some teachers here who are teaching preschool. So I think they would learn from this already, but I think what I find is that about parenting is that if you just do a consistent schedule and you do a consistent routine, like you take a shower and dry your hair, and then I'm going to put you to sleep. I'm going to put this music on. And so with this music on, you're going to go to sleep. And that's what I did with my 2 kids. They had a structure. I read a book first. I always read a book before going to bed. So a lot of times they're already going to sleep, next to me right there in their bed. But when they were still in the crib, I still read a book. When I was pregnant, I still read them a book. And I give that credit for how smart my kids are. Because when I was going to school, I was pregnant and I was over there talking about my lesson to them. I was making it like louder so they can hear. So I think that's important. Reading is so important. Even at this age, do you read to her? Do you read to her? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Make that a consistent thing. Yeah.
Actually, I have 3.
You have 3. Okay.
I have 3 kids. Yes.
Wow, you are busy. So in America, they said that once you raise your child at 18 years old, you would have spent $250,000. That's about that's about 50 million pesos.
Times 3.
Times 3. You'll be So
That's why, Doc, I really need to.
You to come. Yeah.
Yes.
They are our treasure. That's why we're doing what we do, right? That's why we do.
Yes.
We always need to
for them.
For them.
For them.
And that's why, sometimes when I say, oh, I'm going to save this, I'm going to save this for my child. And then when my child needs something and I don't give it to her, when that child really needs it, then I feel like, then what am I working this for? If I don't give it to the child when the child needs it, because then otherwise it'd be for me. And that would be a selfish parent then. So we're doing it for our kids, right?
For them. Yes.
Yeah. So now I'm
definitely.
Now you are just at the end of, you are the beginning because you have your children. My children are gone, 32 and 23. So then when you are in the stage where I am, we are called empty nesters. And it's a sad feeling because you miss your child. You miss your child. Oh my goodness. So you have my 2 children live in another state far away. Like we have to fly to get there. So it's really hard. So enjoy your kids, okay? Just like you enjoy your students. Enjoy your students.
I am
with them.
every minute.
Yeah. What grade do you teach again? What grade?
Grade 2, 2nd grade.
Oh yeah, you should enjoy them because they're like the age of your kids, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
they are.
Good. So what are the strategies? What are some things that you're doing with them that you seem to, like, or they enjoy, the students enjoy? What are some strategies you're using?
I think one of the strategies that they like on me is that I make them laugh. I tend to make some jokes on them, like I make funny faces.
Good. Telling jokes. Very good. Important.
Telling jokes, funny faces, and sometimes I imitate an actor or like sounds. Or sometimes I just dance and they laugh at me.
Good.
I don't know. Maybe I think that my dancing is not good. That's why they laugh. I don't know. I don't care as long as they laugh.
I kids always laugh at adult dance. Don't worry. But humor, Humor is the
Yes.
number one good strategy that you can do, because when you make somebody laugh, they'll always remember it. When you make somebody
Yes.
cry, they'll always remember it. So those are two feelings that will stay in the long-term retention. So let you continue to make them laugh, you know, because
Yes.
also they feel more with good rapport with you. They are
Yes.
very safe. They feel safe, and they feel like they are themselves. If my teacher is gonna be goofy, we can be goofy and we're okay. You know, as long as they're gonna be still on task and still be on topic, and it's still gonna be, your humor is still related to what you're doing.
To you,
You know,
yes.
then that
To
would
my
be,
lesson.
yeah, to your lesson. And so yeah,
Yes.
that sounds like I would love to attend your class. Hey, do you-
One of the moment that they laugh at me every day is like when I erase the board, I do like this.
That's funny.
And
That's
they are
cute.
very they are laughing at me. I don't know. Maybe my dancing is not good.
No, you are a fun teacher.
So that is the start of our lesson. And then, but I always make sure that, okay, when it comes to lesson, we have to be serious.
Good.
So enough with laughing. We are almost done with laughing. And then you have to listen to teacher now.
Yeah,
And
good.
I have like this number, like 1, you have to look at me. 2, you have to listen. 3, you have to shut your mouth.
Oh, good.
So
I like
4,
that.
you have to be prepared while
Good.
listening on.
Oh, I love that.
So I don't have to say it all the time. Oh, listen to me, look at me. Just number, doc.
Wow.
Just
Okay.
number, yes.
Oh, I'm gonna steal that. I'm gonna borrow that whenever I'm sharing with the others, because that is good. And I've seen a lot of teachers from the Philippines doing stuff like that. So I guess that's
Yes, doc.
a common strategy
Yes.
there.
Yes.
That's not very much done here. So I need to make sure that when I do workshops, I'm gonna share that. Do you mind doing a video of you doing some of these things? Because I would love to share this. You know,
erasing the board.
yeah, that erasing the board or anything fun things that you do. Yeah, because
Okay, doc, I will
this
try.
is showing how to get your kids' attention. You know, these are showing, as long as you qualify that when we are serious, we are serious. You know, that just goof all the time. You don't want, as a principal, I would not want to see a teacher just goofing like that all the time and not having serious things too. So have a balance. So make sure you have a balance.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Sounds like you do. So that's good.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for sharing
Yes,
that. I
Doc.
love it.
Thank you.
I love
Thank
it.
you, doc.
Okay. What other strategies do people do that's kind of make it funny? I know somebody was going to share something today, that video or something, and nobody said anything. Did I miss somebody? Did anybody have a video that they want to share about strategies? Nobody? What are some funny things that you do in your classroom? Or fun? We used to do, like, at the end of the year, we used to do like a high school, okay? We used to do like, what do you call it, charade? Like that the student would come in there and they have to act like one of their teachers, not just me, but other teachers. And it's so funny, one day, a student came in there and just started throwing a pencil, like really madly, and against the wall. And I'm like, and everybody said this teacher's name. And I said, oh my gosh, this teacher really does this? And so this teacher had anger management. Every time he gets mad, he would throw a pencil on the wall. Don't ever do that. You could hit somebody in the eye, somebody in the eye. But this teacher has anger management. And I did not know that as a colleague. I did not know that this teacher had this until the student was showing this. And it's so funny, some of the things that they do, you can really tell which teacher it is, like the mannerism or, and all that. And they were even acting like me. And I'm like, okay, is that me? And then they would guess, they would call somebody to guess. And it's kind of neat end of the year activity, because you also get to know how the students feel about teachers, including you, So, and then we say, okay, now let's do classmates. I want you to act like one of your classmates, and that's fun for them, because some of the mannerism or whatever, as long as it's not something negative, I always qualify by saying, I want it to be positive. I want it to be like not making fun of someone. Okay, just emulating something that would really be unique them. That's what we're trying to do. Okay, but it's not making fun. I hope you understand, it's not making fun at all with anybody. Do not make fun of any disability. Do not make fun of, any little things like that you do not want to go there. Okay, so I like that though. So anyway,
Merlina,
okay, yeah.
It's 1 minute more.
1 minute more. Okay, so we're wrapping up now. So Dr. Elvin, what did you learn? Did you learn something?
I really love how Ma'am Furby Lacasad do her strategy, like her jokes, humors, erasing the board, and then the number signal. How is that? 1 is to look at me, 2 is to listen, 3 is to pay attention, and then 4 to be ready. So that's like a very, very nice strategy to really focus on the student. They will get to know you more.
Very good. Dr. Elvin, do you use some of this learning that you have in Zoom with your teachers, like on meetings or whatever? Do you share some of these things?
I would like to try to include this in our learning action cell every Friday, but they are actually they have already the program of activities. That's why I could hardly get into that schedule, because there is one schedule for newly hired teachers, TIP, teacher induction program, every Friday, and then all master teachers are also having their LAC sessions. So for the principal to get in, it's either I'll request someone to allow me in the schedule to share.
I would do an introduction. I would be at the introduction part. You need to request that I need to the introduction, or I need to do the conclusion part. That's what you could do, because you want to be involved, and I want to do introduction and share a little bit because it's relevant to your learning. That's what I would do. I mean, you're the principal, you're the boss. You could ask, you could change a schedule. That's why I always felt like, well, I could change a schedule. It's not going to be, written in stone. It's, monitor and adjust are the two things that you always need to remember in education. We always monitor and we can always adjust. So it's nothing is written in stone, right? Okay, yeah, Fervi, you really have lots of learning that you gave us at the end there. Thank you so much. Like 3 or 4 different meat there. Okay, Mary Noor, do you have anything that yeah, thank you, Fervi. Do you have anything that you learned? One thing that you learned? Remember what I said here, you have to, everybody talks and tell them about what you learned so that everybody else would also remember. Mary?
Hello.
Yes. Mary, did you learn one thing here?
Yes, I learned a lot from here, from now. From this Zoom right now. So I from the start, from the teachers who are interviewed already, for their experiences for the interview, the question that how they're going to answer the interview, and of course the strategy of Mom Freebie, giving the signal for them to get the attention of their students. And I would like also to share how we're going to praising our student if they got a high score in their test, or they got a good recitation, that we are going to give them different kind of claps, like very good clap, like 1 2 3 very, 1 2 3 good, 1 2 3 very good. Then the student, they're enjoying that kind of
Oh,
appreciation. Yes.
I love that. I love that.
Yes,
Everybody, let's do that. Can we do that? Okay, everybody, let's do that.
yes.
1 2
1
3.
2 3 very, 1 2 3 good, 1 2 3 very good.
Yay,
That's
I
it.
love that. That's so awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah,
good every time we do that. Yeah.
yeah, we have a lot of different claps that we give to the student who appreciation. We also have wow galing clap, wow galing, wow galing wow. So that we have a lot of that. That's that is the kind of strategy that I can share to the other teachers.
Yeah,
I know they are also.
you're building a positive culture, which is really good.
Yeah.
And I used to do wow, 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 let's give them a wow. We used to do that. Yeah, we say AWE, well, we say AWE, SOME, awesome, awesome, awesome. You can do things like that. Yeah, AWE, SOME. Yeah, awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, you can, yeah. Those things like that are so fun and are so good, and students love them. I know some of the high school might say, yeah, that's very childish, you know, whatever. And I said, no, praising someone and validating someone is never childish. You know, when you are in the grown-up world and you're married to somebody or you're dating somebody, you're gonna be validating them. And it will help your relationship, you know, to validate them by acknowledging the good things that they do, right? And we're just making it very big right now, but you might not do that in real life, you know, with your spouses, but in other ways, like with words, you're validating them. And this is our way of validating as a class. So that's how you explain it, because they will say, oh, this is so childish. Elementary kids do this. Because I taught both elementary and high school. So they would think that I was using it elementary, and they think that I should not be using it in high school. Yes, I will. Okay, because I will validate any grade, you know? So yeah, thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. Okay, how about, okay, Layla, I know I've talked to Layla a lot. Let me see, anything that you want to add, Layla, that you might have learned? I know you're coming here now, yay. Something that you will take here or bring here.
Magdala ko, ma'am, buwad sa inyo. A joke.
Would say yes. You know, buwad bulinaw. Buwad bulinaw and the little filleted that's white. I don't like the dark one. Those are my two favorites. But anyway, yeah, I would definitely say yes if it's buwad. We cannot find it here. When you find it here, you have to travel 3 hours. And so the other Filipinos have been bringing me some, so I still have some in my freezer. I put them in the freezer. So when I need it, we have a grill outside. And so when the Filipino teachers come, that's what they do. They already know that we go outside in the grill, and my grill has a side burner. So they would cook it in the outside burner, and I already have like skillet and all the stuff that I need over there by my picnic table. And so yeah, we eat breakfast here with those. The other day when Abby and her husband was here, I posted some pictures of them. They were cooking outside the little penicas, you know, the little filleted dried fish. And then I have a lot of tomatoes in my garden. So she got a lot of tomatoes, and she you know how you soak that with I don't know, tomato oil and then the season it and with the dried fish.
Oh, pamalhan.
I have never had that before. And that was so good. I ate like 3 different plates. Normally I try to limit, but I had like 3 plates that morning because it was like so good. You know, it's really whetting your appetite, seems like, you know, like talking about food. This is still relevant because it's still a Filipino culture. But in the US, you see, the breakfast is so different. Like they don't have rice, they have eggs. My husband usually wants eggs and bacon and biscuit or something, some kind of bread, biscuit or pancake or something. He loves biscuit and sausage is what his favorite is. But then when I don't wake up early or I'm Zooming and he has to be on his own, then he will do cereal. That's American. But Filipino, when I have Filipino company, I love it when the teachers come, because here we are at my table eating all kinds of food, you know, like dried fish and things and noodles and stuff like that. I love it. So that's why I bring them. I think this weekend I have other companies too. They're going to come and stay with me this weekend. So anyway, okay, well, thank you. And anybody else that would like to say something, you know, when you attend here, I would like for you to feel comfortable enough to share, you know, because it's so boring going on any Zoom or any PDs where you're just sitting there and you're not really being heard. And that's why in my workshop, I always make sure that everybody gets to talk in different times during the day. And so here on the Zoom, we're pretty limited. I think I heard from everybody. I think everybody got to talk. So I think we're gonna make it, we have 40 minutes over today, but that's okay. I think it's worth it because I feel that I've also learned from you. I learned a lot. The numbering thing, I love those. Yeah, and the dancing thing, I'm gonna borrow that too, Furby. Those are the Furby humor. You're the humor lady. So anyway, because be funny, make fun of yourself, really, because students would relax in your classroom. Okay. The other one that's new that would also stick in their mind is novelty. Novelty and humor are the 2 things. So novel means new. So if you have a new speaker, if you have a new anything, novel things that you're doing, that sticks with the kids too. Okay. All right, well, that's all I have. So I'm gonna say bye to everybody and until next week. And so I appreciate it. I'm sorry it was 10 minutes late or 5 minutes late. Okay, bye. Bye, everybody.
Thank you,
Bye,
Doc Merlina.
ma'am.
Thank you,
Bye, ma'am
Kamay.
Merlina.
Everyone.
God
Yeah.
bless
Thank you,
you.
Dr. Merlina
Thank you
and
po.
Mike.
Good night,
Yes,
everyone.
Good night, guys.
Night,
Let me,
everyone.
Okay,
Sir
let-
Elvin, Sir Mike,
Everyone.
and Janet.
yeah, let me take a picture
Ma'am
first.
Lysel.
I put it on the website. Let me see. I need somebody to talk. So somebody will be in the middle. Somebody talk, Mike, or somebody. Can you talk so I can, I'm gonna take a screenshot, but it's empty in the middle right now, Lizzo. So somebody needs to talk with the
Yes, Doc.
picture. Okay,
Yes, Doc.
you're still not in the middle. Okay, there you go. I'm gonna take a picture right now. I'm gonna take a picture.
Okay, Doc.
So I will
Yes,
post.
yes.
Okay, you're gonna be posted on the support group. All right, thank you again. All right, see you. Bye bye.
Thank you. God bless
bye-bye.
you, ma'am. God bless
Okay, bye-bye.
everyone.